Hey, this is Max, and welcome to the Ronin System podcast, or I guess today we call it Battle Buddies, right?
Yep.
Because we got a Med and we got Edgy Golem. All right, guys. So before we get started, just pour it. What is that?
All right, this is a Blanton's Gold, which can only be purchased in Europe, but it's made here.
What is it, a bourbon?
It is a bourbon, yes.
Wait, so it's made here?
Yeah, it's made in Kentucky.
Yeah, because it's bourbon. Well, yeah. Bourbon's
There's a horse on there.
Huh?
There's a horse on it.
Yeah, that's European.
Oh, well, that's for the Kentucky Derby.
What is it? So the gold, I don't know specifically why, but the gold is made here and only sold in Europe. So the bottle has to come back in order for
anywhere in Europe?
I don't know about everywhere in Europe, but I would assume so, yes.
Where'd you get it?
The internet is a powerful thing.
Okay. Yeah, actually, we have you ever heard of, God, what's it called? My dad has this alcohol from Germany, and basically it translates to like pepper air or something, and you can only get it from this really sketchy German website. Dude, it's the worst. Dude. Every time we bring it out at a party, we just use it kind of as like a punishment thing. Mm-hmm. But dude, it is so bad. Hang on.
Dark web.
It's a lower proof, 51.5% alcohol by volume, so it's really smooth.
Ahmed doesn't drink.
Nope. He does not.
What does it say on the glass?
Glencairn glass. That's the type of glass it is.
Glencairn?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're super into drinking.
I'm into drinking different bourbons, yeah.
Different bourbons?
Yeah.
Yeah, you went to an event, didn't you?
No.
You didn't?
No, there was one last year, but I didn't go to it. It's a bourbon barbecue. That usually happens here in Charlotte.
What do you call a place that makes bourbon? Because like whiskey plays a distillery.
Distillery.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's whiskey. Bourbon's a type of whiskey.
Is it?
Yeah, whiskey is made from grain.
So then, what's Scotch?
Scotch is a type of whiskey.
Okay.
Scotch is like Scottish whiskey.
Right.
Okay.
So all bourbon is whiskey, but all whiskey is not bourbon.
So the full name of bourbon is bourbon whiskey. And
okay.
You got Irish whiskey, Scotch whiskey. You got, there's people say there's American whiskey, but that's basically just Tennessee or bourbon.
Right.
And then they got Canadian whiskey and Japanese whiskey. You ever had Japanese whiskey?
I've had Japanese whiskey, yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it. It's
really?
pretty good.
I don't really prefer it.
Yeah.
Why? That's because Max doesn't like Japanese people.
Oh, okay.
No, let's not go there.
Hey. You don't derail the podcast before it starts.
You want to talk about it later? No, let's talk about it now. You started it. Let's talk about it now. So, did he tell you about the text he sent me? He sent me the text about getting you on, and he wanted to talk about jabronis in the gym.
Okay. No. Not a jabronis in the gym. It's just specifically BJJ, jabron-like behavior.
Oh, jabron-like behavior.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so not nobody specific.
MMA.
Yakuza.
Yeah,
which he did send me that. He didn't send me the same one text message he sent you, but I was like, all right, so I'll listen to the Yakuza part, but I think
you'll have stuff to say.
I probably have more tattoos than both of you put together.
I have one.
That's as far. Then I definitely
I don't think
do.
you even have one.
But that's as far as that. That's as far as my Yakuza knowledge goes.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to hear the interesting thing about the Yakuza tattoos?
Sure.
So,
are you going to tell us how they get it on their butt?
Well, they get it as much as their bodies they can, and so there's a couple different things about it. So I've been reading about Yakuza, and then I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about it. I just got a new book in that.
Was this just like a YouTube hole you got into?
Mm-hmm. And
then the analytics just got you going.
Wikipedia you can jump in like something.
Yeah, but anybody can edit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But usually they cite them at the end, right? They cite their sources.
If I'm a troll, I'm writing on there that you weigh 300 pounds and not citing myself.
But don't you have to have like specific? Not any jabron can get on there. You have to have.
Well, if no one catches it, then because Wikipedia they'll like censor shit and they'll actually like go through it, but not everything is caught. Like the freaking what's his name, Francis Ngannou, when he fought Overeem.
Yeah.
For the record, where it says method of how he beat him, it was like decapitation or something, and it stayed like that for like a month because no one really caught on it. Yeah.
The Brock Lesnar one, it said he kicked him in the diverticulitis. I was like,
that's pretty good.
I was like, too soon.
So why they get tattoos? Well, there are a couple of different things. Is like it's supposed to tell their live story and the things that they've gone through the images of like Japanese lore, kind of depictions of different illustrations,
like murals.
Yeah, but the other big piece is one is it shows how rich they are because they're expensive to get.
Yeah,
they're super expensive to get there. Specifically the type of tattoos they're getting. And what they're doing is they're just taking like a really sharp needle, dipping in different ink, and keep on and basically poking holes into the person's body. Yeah, it's not just like a constant. It's just boom.
So it's not like Angelina Jolie. When she got
the
like
Thai one is the same
it's
process.
Very so it's really painful.
That takes a long time.
Yeah, it's a very long time. It's really really painful, and they're trying to show how tough they are. And then the other big piece is like, well, the other thing that's interesting about it, speaking of alcohol, they're heavy drinkers, right?
Yeah.
They drink a lot, and
I think it's just Asian people, dude.
Nah, but obviously they're into the nightlife. They're in the red light district and all that shit.
What makes it? How do you know he's not into it?
Because he's not Japanese.
Yeah, he kind of
touche.
You're so anyway. But the big thing is because the tattoos, the ink is so dense into their bodies. Mm-hmm. It clogs up their pores, so it's when they drink, it's hard for them to sweat out as much, and so they tend to have a lot more liver failure than other alcoholics.
That makes sense.
And so so like they're always looking for, to buy liver transplants.
Oh,
yeah. There's one story pretty interesting about one of the a Yakuza boss in Japan, who really needed a liver transplant, but he couldn't leave the country. Somehow he got to L.A. He bought his way to L.A. with two of his underlings who also needed liver transplants.
they were all there for liver transplants.
and they got into UCLA Medical, right? The medical center at UCLA, somehow they got the hookup and essentially bought their liver transplants. And so he was like number 80 on the list. And all of a sudden it took him 6 weeks to get a liver transplant, which is I don't know anything about the liver transplant process or anything.
Speculation,
but I'm assuming that's fucking quick, right? So like people could be on it.
I mean, it's got to be pretty quick.
Yeah. My uncle got a liver transplant, and it took him like 4 years to wait. So he was going through some shit to get to it. So this guy jumped within 6 weeks, paid $1 million for him, $1 million for two of his underlings each, and UCLA was under investigation for
the liver transplants.
For the liver transplants and for taking the money.
I mean, at that point, you can't take it back. You can't be like, hey, get back on the table so we can switch it back.
Well, he got it and he was out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he dipped straight back to Japan, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. So do you have to go through, similar to like kidney failure, you have to go through dialysis?
Probably.
I don't know. For liver?
Because the liver regulates blood.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you have to have some type of machine that helps you with like getting toxins out. Is that right?
Yeah, no,
it's getting toxins out. You get toxins out with liver.
Damn man, I'm not a doctor.
It's a pretty freaking.
But
important.
I play one on this podcast.
Yeah, of course, it's super important to the body, you know, especially for alcohol drinkers.
Yeah, but the liver's the only organ that'll regenerate itself.
That's true, but
to
a certain extent.
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, like 99% of it is.
That's because there's a lot of shit going through it.
Lungs will regenerate too.
Not the full lung though.
I think if you stop smoking within a certain time, you can reverse whatever you did. But you can really mess somebody up if you hit them with a liver shot.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not as important like as a heart or anything, but
yeah,
you'll die about it.
Yeah, it's probably like the third most important organ.
Really? You think so?
Heart, brain, and what? Well, maybe not even
lungs.
brain. You don't even need the brain. You can still live.
Yeah, you kind of need the brain. Yeah.
Brain dead. I'm just saying, like, could you get the body living?
No, you can't live without a brain because
we're talking about if it just stopped doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Correct.
You can't.
Like, you can be in a vegetative state, being brain dead, or in a coma.
But you're not breathing on your own.
So in this scenario, we're in the hospital and there's like a machine keeping us alive.
Yeah, you're not breathing on your own.
Yeah, because if you don't have your brain's not doing any of that. That's like sort of like subconscious shit, or like the what is it? The lymphatic, whatever. I don't know.
Well, basically, you're saying your brain is commanding the rest of your
body. Yeah. So I know one thing. The last thing. So when I don't know, I forgot how I know this, but the last thing that goes out, most people think it's like your gag reflex before they designate you as brain dead. It's actually your ability to take a breath. So if they are thinking that you're brain dead, they'll take you off the ventilator, I think it is, breathing machine, and they'll let the carbon dioxide get to a certain level in your blood. Then they'll put you back on. They'll take the blood out before they test it, and they check to see what the carbon dioxide level was. Mm-hmm. And your brain is the last thing your brain tells you to do is to take a breath. That's why people drown. So if you're underwater and let's say you can hold your breath for a minute, as soon as you hit that, your carbon dioxide hits a certain level,
you start breathing water.
Your body just automatically breathes in, and that's when all the water rushes in and you drown.
Yeah, I would think brain, then heart, then lungs. Because the brain commands everything, and then the heart fuels everything, but then the lungs fuels you.
Rest of your body.
Yeah. And so I mean, maybe the liver's like 4th or 5th. You know, it's definitely not top 3.
Yeah. I don't want to lose it.
It's not the top 3 organs.
So wait, let me jump back for a second. So in your research of this,
the Yakuza?
Yeah, like after, they've been around for, would it be centuries now or decades?
They've been around for centuries.
Okay, centuries.
So start. They're saying probably around 17th century, but it wasn't like they weren't known as Yakuza then.
But right. But like at this point or this day and age, they wouldn't have been like, hey, maybe we shouldn't get these full body tattoos because our livers or drink as much.
You're starting to see less of like the tattoos and less of like the where they're cutting off their fingers and stuff like that.
Yeah, go into that in a second after you explain.
Yeah, but they're just saying they're basically trying to blend in a little bit more into society, and they are part of Japanese society. Like it's really a lot of different parts of the country just accept them, and it's
there's certain villages and towns where the Yakuza are the police. You don't go to the police when you have an issue. You go to the Yakuza because they'll deal with it faster.
Right? Oh, okay.
Like there are policemen. There's like law enforcement, but the Yakuza deal with things faster in those certain villages and towns because they own everything, they run everything, and if something goes wrong, it messes up business. Right. So they gotta go in there and correct it. And
they do good things for like the communities that they serve. However, they're still gangsters. And so they still do crime. So they're still doing.
Oh, they got to make their money.
Yeah, their money. Yeah. They're into drugs. They're into trafficking,
extortion,
human trafficking, which is weird because Japan has,
but not organ trafficking, even though they need organs. Okay,
so they definitely Japan has like one of the lowest murder rates in the world. Just in general, they just have a really really low murder rate. However, their trafficking, their human trafficking
through the roof.
Rate is really high. So they're into that. They're into money laundering. They're into drugs. And they're into gambling. So they're still doing all that stuff. But yet, what Max talking about, they absolutely protect the certain communities. And it's just how they got their start in it.
How did they start? Do you know? Did you look that up?
So there's different takes on it. But it looks like most of them say that they formed from in the late 17th century Ronin. Yeah. So hence the Ronin System podcast. Plug. Samurai that basically were
didn't have masters. Didn't have
masters. Yeah, and so there was two trains of thought. There's these Ronin that just didn't have masters, and they needed to figure out a way to make money, right? Mm-hmm. So they found villages to like quote unquote protect and extort. Right, communities to protect and export. And then the other one was there is a group of samurai within a particular, they didn't say which village or community that it was or town, but they got their start protecting the villagers and the communities they serve from Ronin who were attacking those communities.
So it's the opposite.
The exact opposite. So but I think majority of them say it's option number one.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's similar to the triads, because the triads, when they first started, they're called the triads. For those of you that don't know,
we talked about the triads last time we were on.
Yeah, so they're called the triads because there used to be 3 secret societies.
Okay,
and so each like 3 triad.
Yeah,
and they were actually like legit secret societies. Like basically, you had to either buy your way in or earn your way in, and they were like good things. Like if you were in the triads. You got like special treatment, and like you're basically like a higher level.
Okay.
Right. But no one knew that besides people that are in the triads.
Yeah.
And then eventually I think it was like with the whole European imperialism thing, they started turning into kind of like an underground, like rebellious, insurgent kind of group, and that's what developed them into like criminals, because like they were just trying to preserve Chinese culture, but the Europeans, because they saw them as a threat, they're like, oh, these are gangsters, these are terrorists, and that's why they developed into gangsters and terrorists. A criminal syndicate is because of the Europeans, and that's what they are today. Because before, when they were insurgents, they were just trying to protect the Chinese, and the Chinese liked that, obviously. So they paid for them, they helped, they supported them, and then when imperialism kind of died away, Chinese people were like, we don't really need you anymore. But then the tribes were like, but we want to be here.
Yeah.
So
we ain't going anywhere.
So they started doing crime. So
now you need us.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that happened. So I expected the Yakuza to kind of be like that.
Well, I think there's a lot of gangs that start like Bloods and Crips. Kind of started similar to that. They were trying to like do good for the community and then protect them against the police after like the Crenshaw riots.
I thought they were LA riots.
No, LA riots was way after.
Oh.
Yeah, LA riots were after. The Crenshaw riots was specifically in Compton, the Crenshaw area. It was in the late 60s. And then the Bloods and Crips kind of came up afterwards to protect the communities against the police. So it was you can read up on it, I guess. I don't know very much about it. But so we're going back to that one dude that we saw in that jiu-jitsu video. There was a jiu-jitsu video.
Oh yeah, where after he won, he just like
but he definitely was missing a finger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was tatted to the gills in Japan. It makes sense. So I'm not saying I know for a fact he's Yakuza. I don't. Nobody knows. I'm sure somebody knows. He knows, right?
I would hope so.
Right. But there isn't the one thing is that the Yakuza, their organization is much bigger than any other crime organization. So it's estimated that within Japan there's anywhere between 50 to 100,000 Yakuza. That's one. Two is they're really trying to blend in with the rest of the society in Japan. So
wait, 50 to 100,000? That's not that many.
That's
right?
For a gang, though.
For a gang, come on, there's not that many.
Yeah, but then you take into consideration the population of the country.
That's true, but dude, 100,000 people. Like, I'm just trying to think of, are there 100,000 mafia members in Naples? Probably not. There's different crime families.
Yeah.
Maybe, but not even then. There are probably not 100,000 of those people. But that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. And secondly, they're trying to blend in, so they're just part of the regular community. Some of them have regular jobs. Some of them have like own construction companies, and some of like you actually
they have legitimate business.
Yeah, they have legitimate businesses.
Yeah, that's what makes them a crime syndicate.
Right.
Because if you're a gang, you have like illegitimate businesses, like you do like money laundering, maybe through like a barbershop or something, for example. Mm-hmm. But like Yakuza members, triads, mafia, they all own legitimate businesses. Like if you were doing business in like Italy or China or Japan, it's a possibility you could run into one of those guys that are like higher ups. They just own the business, and that's how they make their money, quote unquote. But then their actual money is doing other things.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it's what protects them, because like, you know, if law enforcement like Interpol came in and they're like, hey, you're a triad or you're Yakuza or whatever, I'd be like, nah, I just own Sony. You know, I just own Toshiba. You know, it's like, what can you do? And
I got this Boost Mobile, homie.
Yeah. But I mean, I would imagine like 100,000 is probably like 10 times that, because like you don't know if they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
In its heyday, they said like when they really started to blow up in Japan was right after World War II, and there was because basically several communities were just decimated from the war.
Yeah.
And they needed building back up. And so that's how they came in and kind of helped a lot of the farmers and that kind of thing. And so they blew up. And so back then they're saying it was anywhere between probably around 300,000 Yakuza members. And it's
back then that was a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah, for sure. That's back then it was a lot because the population was low.
And right after the war. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. All right. So back to the tattoo thing, because I wanted to say this. I think it's kind of interesting that they don't get to tattoos as much anymore, because tattoos now are like super popular,
right?
Like super modern. I mean, I think in Japan there's still a stigma, but like if they want to get here in the US, dude, everyone's got tattoos. If you don't have a tattoo, you're either overly religious.
I'm not over religious.
Or you know, you just
don't have a tattoo.
Yeah, you're uncool.
Right.
As the kids say.
You could also be 13 and not allowed to get a tattoo.
No.
You could also. I think some people are also like. Do you think some people are also not necessarily scared of, but scared of like the having to live with something that they maybe
For the rest of their life?
and regret it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but you also live with scars that you get from scraping your knee.
Yeah, those are accidental.
Yeah.
But they happen, and you live with it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but this is a decision that
this
somebody's going to be
decision
like,
you made. You
yo,
paid money for it.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you
I
got
agree.
that hard and tramp stamp on
That-
me.
that's-
back.
yeah.
Like, do you have any tattoos that you don't like prefer?
No, because I thought like each tattoo I have, I thought of for at least a year. So one thing I do is I'll print out what I'm going to get, and then I'll put it on the mirror, and so every morning when I brush my teeth or I'm washing my hands or everything, I see the tattoo every day.
How long did you do that for?
For a year.
For a year.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it every morning.
So
if
do you
it's
have
on
all your
me-
tattoos just on the mirror?
No, they're not there
you can't
anymore.
even see yourself in the mirror?
No. That for that year, then it goes down and goes on my skin. But
Interesting. I mean, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But you know, there's dumbasses out there that like,
Oh,
I have a buddy of mine. He has
No
a sticker.
regrets.
no regrets.
Yeah, like that's a legitimate thing that people actually get. Like you see it all the time on like what is it? The cover up show on Spike TV.
I mean,
That
you also
shit's
see dudes like
hilarious.
right before the Super Bowl, pick their team, whoever their team is, and say Super Bowl. They put Super Bowl champs in the year and everything, and I'm like,
But that's because we believe it.
What
In
about
their
these-
minds, that's
yeah,
true.
but wait till after the game.
Yeah. What about these dongs that get Joe Rogan tattoos?
Joe Rogan tattoos.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan tattoos.
There's quite a few.
There's a lot.
They get
Dude,
his,
he,
like,
he
logo?
shares it a lot. I'm
His
like,
logo.
yeah,
like
his
his
third
face
eye,
with
third
the third
eye.
eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One person even got his dog too.
Yeah,
recently.
I saw that one too. I'm like, what?
I was like, wait, you got somebody else's dog tattooed on
Those
you?
are pretty cool though. Like I know this guy back in Richmond. So you know David.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a tattoo of his logo, which is like a CD.
Yeah.
And then it's got like a dragon going around it. And this idiot that we used to train with got the same tattoo, and he doesn't train anymore. He hasn't trained in like 8 years. And he'd been training for like a couple months. And he's like, David, look what I got. And I'm like, dude, you're so dumb. And it's like the exact same thing. And like, what are you gonna tell people? Like, oh, that's my coach. It's like, coach for what?
That would be a perfect example of BJJ Jobron-like behavior.
Yeah.
Instant segue.
Instant segue.
Good segue. Good segue. Someone start.
You just started. That's crazy. I feel like did what's his name do that?
Who? I mean,
I think he did. Did
You don't
he?
need to say his name.
yeah.
You don't need to say his name, but I felt like somebody did that and then quit.
I don't know.
That's usually how it happens. Once you get a tattoo related to jiu-jitsu, you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
It's a high
Or you're
chance.
unless you're a black belt. If you're a black belt.
Well, yeah, unless you're
Yeah.
one of those people that gets like
Yeah.
the belt color every single time you get promoted.
He got tattoos of jiu-jitsu tattoos and he's kept them.
Yeah. But
What
I
do you
got
have?
my first ones were at purple belt. So
What
I'm
is it?
already halfway through. So my left bicep is the team I was on. So the team I started with, which is the Alliance Eagle.
Uh-huh.
And then on my right arm is is a snake, which is a sucuri in Portuguese.
He
And
was
that's the
he was
logo.
Alliance.
That's the logo of my teacher before he passed away.
Oh, okay.
So, but I got it after he passed away.
Because I was wondering where I heard that from.
Yeah.
And
So
I remember seeing it on your patches.
yeah. So Sunshine has the same tattoo on his bicep as well.
Well,
Does he really?
Yeah.
I never noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's more like honoring the guy, right?
Right,
So
correct.
that's different. you
That's
know?
not like getting a Nike
ta-
check across my chest.
Exactly. That's like getting a tattoo of like a loved one. you know?
Honoring his
It's
memory.
different.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean,
And-
getting a tattoo of like your coach's
Logo.
shit,
Like
it's
actual
just-
logo.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. Like the Alliance tattoo is dumb. Dude. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's
Hey,
dumb.
listen, for me, that is my base. That is how I started. That's how everything started for me. Just
Yeah.
like now, I mean, both of my biceps, like right on the biceps, on my right side, I have a mandala because of my trip to Everest. And then on the left-hand side, I have a lion in the similar design as a mandala because I went to Africa as well.
For Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Would you ever get a tattoo though, Amit?
Would I? Yeah.
Are there like
There are Muslims who have tattoos. 100%. There's lots
but are
of
there like specifically I guess like Muslim tattoos?
I mean, you can get like religious
Text.
on them, but it's in general. But it's against the religion.
It's frowned upon in general.
Yeah, so like you're just doing it for the love of self-expression. I would say more so than anything
So
else.
in Buddhism, you're not allowed to get well, at least in Chinese Buddhism, you're not allowed to get tattoos of the religion because no one is allowed to be an icon. Because as soon as you get a tattoo that's of, let's say, like the Nirvana symbol or like Buddha or something, you're considered an icon, and so people will worship you, which is not allowed because we're taught to be like selfless and be like formless, just kind of go with the flow kind of thing. But then it's weird because like Thai people will get Buddhist tattoos because they want to be icons. Like my brother has I can't remember what it's called, but he's got the temple on his back. And then there's people that get like the 4 lines and all that shit, and those are religious things. Like those are texts. So it's kind of weird how it works for certain religions, because I know in Christianity you're not supposed to get tattoos, right? But you can.
You're not supposed to, for sure, based on the Old Testament for Jewish people, right? So a lot of old Jewish people don't because it's based on the Old Testament. But
did people even have tattoos then, though?
I think tattoos have been around for a
how do they even know what tattoos are?
Yeah, I think they've been around for a long time, man. I think they've been around for like there's people who do like body arts are probably
body modification is a thing.
Yeah, there for sure has been tattoos for a long. I mean, I think what is it? Just take some ink and a dye and just and a needle and
like
it's probably much more.
No, I know how a tattoo's made.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying it's probably much more painful and much more unsanitary back then. But
for sure.
Yeah, but I would say that they'd probably still do it.
Like I never understood the branding.
I understand it. I mean, so for certain, I guess, cultures, there's a reason you get branded, and it's because you're trying to look like fearsome, or especially like war bands, like the Maori, or like Native Americans are covered in tattoos. But can't remember where it is in Asia, but there's like a specific cultural group where they get, like women specifically, will get face tattoos just to make them look uglier, so they don't get kidnapped. Huh. It was like really popular, obviously back in the day. You kidnap women and shit, like raiders. So you tattoo your face to look ugly, and I guess it's like kept up because some of them will still have tattoos
on their face.
I think it's like Mongolia or something, but
that makes sense. There were a lot of raiders then.
Yeah, there's a lot of raiders now.
Yeah, a lot of raiders.
They just moved to Vegas. Oh, sorry, wrong Raiders.
Hey man, don't talk about my Raiders. When is that happening though? That's like
this coming season.
Is it really?
Yeah.
2021?
Yeah. Tom Brady will be the quarterback.
No, he won't.
Speculation. You heard it here first, folks.
I mean, he'd get paid a lot. It's Vegas.
He's gonna get paid a lot wherever he goes if he leaves.
Yeah,
if he leaves the Patriots.
That's true.
He's probably that's an interesting market though. By the way,
Vegas?
Like imagine like being a pro athlete
in Vegas.
In Vegas, like you probably don't have like the global, like so you like let's just say you like think of it like this: artists like musicians who play in Vegas, who have Vegas shows, are known when you go to Vegas. But could you tell me right now which famous musician, artist, singer is playing in Vegas? No, but they're always big names.
Correct.
They're always big names, but you don't know who it is. So like they're associated with the city. I always find that interesting, and they're probably getting paid buku cash from the casinos or whoever, right?
Oh, whenever they have like a residency, is that what you're talking about?
No, whenever they're like so Celine Dion, right? Let's just say
she had a residency.
She was there she had a year or 2 year contract or what have you with them.
And she had shows every other week.
Yeah, she got paid like crazy.
Right. So did Britney Spears, I think, at one point.
Yep. But
Chris Angel's still there.
Who's that guy?
Chris Angel, the magician?
Oh, magician, yeah. That's right.
Dude. That guy's still there. He still walks around. He still lives up the top.
Is he
of
the
the
guy
Luxor.
that levitates?
Yeah, at the top of the Luxor.
Oh.
You know that's fake. It's just a balloon.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like,
do you think like casinos would just be like, "Hey, Tom, can you make an appearance here?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, that's like guaranteed $250,000 just to make an appearance that night."
I could see that, but I don't see him doing that.
Do you know
I could see a
Vegas
rookie
started?
coming into the league. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I could see a rookie coming into the league doing that. I don't see Tom Brady doing that.
Why?
I mean, the man's the face of Under Armour.
Yeah, he would go somewhere else for sure. Because I think Vegas is just where you go.
Oh, well, if you're talking about if he's not going to go, yeah, I don't know if he's going to go to Vegas, but I'm just telling you, like, if you were in Vegas, guarantee you that guy's like wanting casino appearances for. That's the only reason I would like. If you're going to talk about one city over the next, like why that gives your marketing brand more power. That's the only thing I can think of.
Really, Vegas?
And that's the only meaning. It's not a major market. It's not like L.A. or New York, right?
Yeah.
Or Chicago, but there's so that's why players choose those cities because
Well, when players get drafted, they don't choose their city.
right. But like for free agency,
Yeah.
specifically like you think of like a lot of times the NBA or baseball more so than just say football. But you think of those, they're choosing those cities for jersey sales, commercial endorsements there's just more opportunities in those cities. You're probably not going to have that in Vegas, but man, I'm getting paid by somebody. Casinos, I have to be.
Yeah, I guess so.
I
I guess you get a lot of money, but you have to be like, you can't be like going casino hopping.
Mm-mm.
You
got to go to practice.
Yeah, you get drafted by one casino.
Less your average.
Oh, dude, I would be like, here it is. This is the time limit.
Like
I'm
MGM
here for 15 minutes and that's it, and I'm out. But so
That'd
you
be
were
the most 250.
yeah. Where was I? I was in training. I was training the other day. We got two guys that train with us, guys that are bouncers over at the
You have to say where it is, but yeah.
whatever, some club, and it's predominantly a black club. Yeah, that's what it is.
Cool.
And
I'll go there.
Yeah, they bounce, and
Well, you can get in for free.
right. They are, but they told me like, okay, hey, Wale just showed up and
That's
at
a
the
DC
other
guy,
night,
yeah.
Wale the rapper,
Yeah.
and because he was here for a concert,
Mhm.
right? But the club owner paid him $25,000, or not, sorry, 25. I think it was $20,000 for 10 minutes just to pop in and out.
I believe that.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying. Like that's
Yeah, but your assumption was 20 grand versus 250 grand for 15 minutes.
yeah, but who is Wale compared to Tom Brady? If I'm in a casino, we're not talking about
How
the
many
black
people
club.
actually
Some
know
random-
who Wale is?
Some random club in Charlotte.
But now what kind of business deals are being thrown at Tom Brady versus Wale?
I'm saying Tom Brady's getting like I want $1 million for
$1 million? Dude, you gotta go higher than that.
for a casino.
Yeah, for sure.
For
Dude, you know how much money casinos pull in?
Okay, so let's
daily?
say maybe it's $2 million for 30 minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
I think he's more interested in winning championships than
But,
hanging out at the
I mean,
casino
how
for 20 minutes.
How much money does he make per game, though?
I'm biased though because my wife's from New England.
I don't
so-
know. Here's the thing: the guy ain't hurt for cash.
Yeah, that's my
He's
whole point.
married. He's married to Giselle, who's worth more than him.
And
Yes,
she's
that's
also
true.
the face of Under Armour.
She's worth more money than him, which is interesting. So.
All right, go, Whitman. There's a dog here.
There's always a dog here.
There's a stray dog. I don't know who it is. But no, yeah, dude. Like, I don't know. But the Wale thing, that happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I
'Cause-
totally.
Like, I remember back in Richmond, you guys know who the Jabberwockies are?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Dancing
dancing
crew?
crews.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a dancing crew.
Did they
right?
win the first?
Yeah, they won the first
They
one.
won the first one. Okay.
Popular dancing crew, but you have to know what dancing crews are to know who the Jabberwockies are, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
So back in the peak of what's it called, ABDC or whatever, there was supposed to be a show where they would go to Richmond and they go to like a club and then afterwards go to like a hotel after
Lobby or
party,
so- Oh, okay.
right? And I shit you not, you had to pay like $200 a ticket
Mhm.
for the after party,
Oof.
and it wasn't even the Jabberwockies.
Who was it?
It was like the Jabberwockies like assistants or something. Like they're backup dancers.
They're back.
And like people still paid. People still paid $200 to go meet. Like,
Why do you think people do that shit, man? Like pay money. That's what they were. That Paul was saying. They were selling tables for the night for $800,
Mhm.
and so the club owner made his money.
Yeah. So you do know people go for the experience. They don't necessarily like you could be, 200 yards away from Wale, right? And maybe catch a glimpse of him, but you're there for the experience, the atmosphere, who else is going to be there? You're there for the party. You're not there to meet Wale one-on-one. You're not paying your $800 because Wale is going to sip some Henny next to you.
that $800, is that just for the table or do you have like a
Do you
drink,
get
like a
booze?
bottle included?
I think you get a bottle.
That's cheap, dude.
Well, maybe I don't know.
That's
I
cheap.
don't know. I would assume
For
you
a
get
private
bottle.
table and a bottle, that's cheap. You'd be spending $2,000-$3,000 for the same thing somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know? So that's cheap.
If you don't give her attention, she's just gonna leave you alone.
And she's licking my butt.
She'll just leave you alone. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's what I'm saying to you is like, okay, so you're talking about they're paying for the experience.
Yeah.
Why do you want that experience? Why would you ever want that experience? Would you pay the money just to be?
It would depend who. I mean, people pay.
I mean, it's not like you're going to see a concert, right? It's like you're literally just going to go and hang.
He was just making an appearance.
You were just literally making an appearance for 10 minutes. You walked in and you walked out.
I mean,
people pay to be there where he is.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
See,
like,
but those are fans. Those aren't. Like,
no, but that's so they're. But I'm saying is like, okay, so I'm a fan. I'm a fan of, say, who the fuck am I a fan of? I don't even know. Like I would say I'm a fan of Michael Jordan. Jordan. I love Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Right. I'm not going to pay any money just to be in the same place as him. Ever. I would never pay money just to.
What if he was playing?
If he was playing, that's different because he's providing.
He's actually doing something.
He's probably providing entertainment. So the same thing would be for like a concert of some sort, right? So if Wale came in, I wouldn't mind paying money to see, maybe not high top dollar, but I watched Wale rap for me.
Okay.
Or rap for crowd, right?
Yeah.
That's absolutely. But just to be in the same, so that his example, were they dancing?
The Jabberwocky assistants?
The Richmond?
No, they were just there.
They were just there.
I would definitely not pay for the
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying to you. I don't think you'd pay for anybody. I don't think you'd be hard up to be like, I'm going to pay a certain amount of money just to be in a certain room with somebody at a certain time.
Me personally, I would not.
Yeah, and I'm saying
I would do it if I got to get a one-on-one. For sure.
Like for VIP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Will Smith. I would totally pay some money to talk to Will Smith,
To talk to him, yeah.
To even talk, like
not just
like
to be in the same room.
A 10 15-minute conversation. I would pay for that.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't pay to be in
I wouldn't
somebody's
pay like
presence.
hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
But I'd pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, I can see myself paying maybe a certain amount of dollars. I don't know. It has to be somebody I really want to talk. You know who I'd pay to talk to?
Who?
Probably,
Rafa Mendes.
No, I wouldn't. I'd probably pay to say, like, if I were talking about actors or famous celebrities like that, I'd say Denzel.
Oh yeah, I like Denzel.
Denzel would be
I like
cool.
me some Denzel.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't see anyone I'd pay for.
I am definitely judging people who pay money to go to a club to just sit there and see
the person come in and come
out.
Well, see, here's the difference. Like at a club, if you're already going to go there and spend hundreds of dollars buying drinks or getting a table or whatever, you're just there. It doesn't matter who's like adding Wale into that. It's just kind of being like it's a bonus.
Right.
It's not like the purpose of it.
Right, and the way it's usually marketed is come and party with X person.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can leave that place and say, I partied with that person on this past Saturday. Whether you did or not, that's...
Now we know to ask, how much did you pay, you fucking jabroni?
I had a question. Jabron.
Yeah.
Jabroni. Didn't Kobe come up with that?
No, I thought it was The Rock.
The Rock?
Yeah.
The Rock.
The Rock.
And then it's... What's it based off of? Because I remember being a derivative off of something else. Because he started saying it.
I think it's an Italian type thing. You jabroni, fucking jabroni.
I thought it was like
You're not giving the definition. You're just
I don't
saying
know
it over and over again.
I don't know. That's why we need the laptop.
yeah, we needed Jamie.
Yeah,
I know.
Someone get their phone out.
There'll be a follow up.
I feel like that's where you can have Comic-Con where he doesn't talk and you can just be in the back.
Put it on the big screen.
He'll bring some beers. But no, yeah, you wanted to talk about jabronis and the.
Well, like how there's certain things that I've been noticing. Well, I've noticed throughout my time doing jiu-jitsu.
Not lately though.
No, lately too. I think that well, this has to do in general with like call out culture.
Call out. Okay.
Yeah, these call out culture. You see it all the time. Like that's what social media and trolling is.
It was pretty big in 2019.
Yeah,
I will say.
What, call out culture?
Yeah, it's mostly in Nogi.
What I'm saying to you is just say like the call out culture of like, forget jiu-jitsu, right? Let's just talk about troll. It's just basically trolling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Call out culture, I think, is this idea of I'm going to make a name for myself by trolling you, or retweeting whatever you're saying to clown your shit.
Yeah.
Right. Or call you out on whatever you did. right? Or whatever you're saying and seeing it, that it's really that's making fun of you more like to, or poking fun, taking kind of pleasure out of somebody else's shortcomings or what have you. But there's also this idea of just like calling out these schools, in jiu-jitsu, we've seen it recently, like where you see people not being direct about what they're saying, but there's hidden meaning behind it.
Subliminals?
Oh yeah, so like a hidden meaning, or like something that they're just trying to, an underlying meaning behind what they're trying to communicate. So I see it the other day. We talked about it yesterday. Somebody who's looking for a school to train in Charlotte. And somebody who's visiting Charlotte looking for a jiu-jitsu school to train out, and somebody who I have no idea who this person is. It's really nice for him to recommend the place that we train at, which is Top Martial Arts. And he said, you should train over there. There's a guy, it's really good, really good school. It's competitive. The guy who owns it, I've rolled with him. I've never gotten
beat up by a guy like 1/3 my size.
Yeah, like 50 pounds less than me. Just schooled me, right? And then somebody else from another school who used to live in Charlotte, doesn't live in Charlotte, lives close by, says, and I heard they have 20 plus black belts over there, right? This idea, and I kind of probably chimed in, I didn't need to, but which I took, being somebody who trains at school, because of recent events at our school, we promoted. All 10. Of us are black belts, by the way. Now
10 black belts.
Yeah,
10. I mentioned it in the last episode.
Yeah. Okay, so there's 10 of us that just got promoted, plus however 7 more.
In the picture, there's 17 of us, including Travis. So I guess 16.
Okay. Yeah, so 16 of us. So 16? You said?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah,
but I think it's like 13 or 14 that actually train.
Yeah, but you got to take out Max. You got to take out Ben. And you got to take out the people that train at different times too, because there's not going to be 16 black belts.
Oh no, I totally. Yeah, it's more about like the idea of that person saying,
he's harping on the generalization of like there's a surplus of black belts.
Yeah, they're like, as in they're saying, the way I take that is that
we're kind of McDojo-y.
Yeah, they're promoting black belts like it's not. And let's be honest, like how many people went up there, this guy included, came in there and talked about, the switching to top, and having, we had like 3 or 4 people talking about switching to top and basically getting their shit pushed in.
Yeah,
not in a way like it's where we're being dicks.
I talked about it too.
Yeah, it was hard.
It was tough coming up.
It was tougher. It's tougher for people. Like for me, I didn't talk about it. I didn't say anything. I yielded my time. But dude, my first day at top, I got armbarred by a white belt.
Yeah,
and
it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. We're a tough school. And I have to agree with you on that, and I have to disagree with you on that, because I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't know who we were, and I just came in and I saw that there were, in the most recent picture, there's 16 black belts. They're like, what's going on here? Why did 10 guys get promoted?
Yeah.
With basically no context.
If you didn't know who,
then you see the second photo of like 300 people.
If you didn't know who we are, but the thing is that somebody who's saying that knows who we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
There's the caveat.
They know who we are, right? Because you can hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Okay. It was like a pop.
Does it feel like it was maybe my beard? It's getting a little long.
But yeah, okay, that makes the difference. That makes a difference there. All right. So yeah, I mean, I guess that guy's just a bitch.
It is it's being somebody who's, it's taking shots at, like, first and foremost, you don't even train in this city.
Yeah.
So who are you selling against? Right? But again, people could have read that and be like, "Oh wow, you have 20 plus black belts. That's great. You're always going to have somebody to run."
Yeah, like if I heard that, I'd be like, "Yeah, that's cool." Yeah. Especially if the previous comment said, that it's a tough school, it's very competitive.
Yeah.
And it'd be even better because a bunch of our guys are like world class,
right?
And we bring in world class guys all the time.
We do bring world class guys,
and it's a frequent thing where we constantly having top level guys come in and train with us, So it's, I don't know, maybe it's just bias because
maybe I'm just a little irritable.
yeah, you're just a loyal guy. That's what
I
it
am.
is. You're just
And
a
maybe
loyal
I just
guy.
look. Maybe I need to quit looking at the world as the glass half empty. Because I think that's probably maybe I did. Do you think I did that? Yours glass is half empty. Less than half empty. So yeah, that's one thing. I think the other thing is, there's some other things that have happened.
That was a deep sigh. Just go ahead and get it out.
Yeah, just let it all out, man.
Well, Max and I talked about this, right? And it's and I don't know if this is jabron-like behavior, but it's certainly like I just don't understand it. It's the behavior is and why you would do something like this is easy. We talked about this idea of a lot of schools going away from sport jiu-jitsu into
Going self-defense?
Yeah, Gracie self-defense, which like even the best Gracie schools are some of the best sport jiu-jitsu schools. And so I want to make sure I'm clear about that. Like when people hear this, I just like, like Gracie Humeta in California puts out studs. Yeah. Gracie Baja in Northridge is maybe
even though they're a cult,
right?
They're like one of the top.
Yeah, but Gracie Baja in Northridge is they absolutely put just monsters.
Yeah,
just monsters out there, right? In IBJJF competition, and they also win at ADCCs, and they've won other stuff, right? So, and even like say like Hickson or what's some Kron who loves like the self defense. That motherfucker's a monster, ADCC no Greek grappler, right? So, but these idea of like these schools going and selling the self defense aspect of everything, and then as and that we'll see these people sometimes show up to our open mats, and it's I don't see how what they're doing is self defense focused. It's more like just don't get subbed.
Yeah.
Just don't get subbed. Then what happens? Then how is this helping your jiu-jitsu? How is this helping you progress? Or how is this even helping you like not get fucked up in the street? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're sitting there on your back with your hands protecting your neck like this, and so you're not letting me get to your neck, and you're not letting me get to you're keeping your arms closer. I'm not arm barring you, and you're not letting me get to your back because you're keeping your shoulders plugged. Well, cool. If I was in the street,
if I'm a bear, that's probably the way to not get mauled.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe
you're fighting a bear.
Yeah. Although in The Revenant, that guy.
Yeah.
It depends on the bear, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leo took a beating.
Right.
For the record.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, because when you talk about, I guess, trolls in jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of guys that are like, inside specifically, there's guys that say that self-defense schools are shit, and then there's guys in the self-defense schools that say sport is stupid. Mm-hmm. But then you have people outside saying like jiu-jitsu is useless, or there's no base for it in self-defense. And a lot of times I just don't understand it, and I get tilted. I'll get heated because it's like, if you're outside the sport, I get it. You don't know what jiu-jitsu is, but if you're inside the sport, you should know that. No matter what, if you're in a self-defense situation, if you're not prepared, you're probably just going to die, And I think self-defense is more of a mental thing. Like we could go to Brazil and go to like the original Gracie Academy, and they'll teach us, I don't know, armbar when the guy has a knife in his hand or some shit. That's not going to fucking work. It's not going to work at all. And then you go to a sport place like Top. And it's like you have a guy come in and be like, "Hey, I want to learn self-defense. This isn't the place, dude.
Yeah,
like this is not the place." Mm-hmm. But I legitimately think jiu-jitsu is the best for self-defense, not physically, but mentally.
Because of the intensity.
Not just the intensity, but also for the mindset. Like if I rolled with Anderson's like a world champ, right? World champ.
We have a. You want to talk about?
Yeah, world champ brown belt, 6'5", like 200 pounds. The dude literally toys with everyone. Like he's probably asleep, and we're like trying 120%. But like, I go in there and I train with him, right? I roll with him, I spar with him, I drill with him. He's gonna kick my ass without a doubt, but he's gonna make me comfortable with my ass getting kicked.
Yeah,
if you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about jiu-jitsu. You get comfortable with how uncomfortable life can be, especially in a self-defense situation.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. A lot of people, they'll tense up, they'll freeze.
Because I feel like for our school and for sports jiu-jitsu, you get the fight or flight. You're in the middle of a roll, and somebody yells out 45 seconds left, and they're like, you're up by whatever, an advantage, a point, whatever somebody yells that, and you know what it is. I mean, you're trying everything, one, for something not to score on you or not to get passed or taken over.
Yeah, it's almost life or death.
Yeah, and then the person on the bottom or whatever position they're in is either trying to pass, take you down, do everything they can so they can get So that's the fight or flight, which you don't get in self-defense training because literally it's like, drills. All right, like you're holding up a knife and you're like, all right, I'm stabbing you straight into your stomach.
That's muscle memory though.
Yeah.
But I mean, even then, that's like, if you don't have the flight or fight response correct or like down pat, muscle memory is not really going to kick in, especially in like a scenario.
Right. So would you say that an intense sport jiu-jitsu environment is going to be more conducive to somebody who wanted to learn self-defense?
Yes.
Because of the
and it ends up being fun.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
for sure.
My thing is, again,
that's the reason I do it.
After the beating, it ends up being fun.
Going back to that guy that comes in and says he wants to learn specifically self-defense.
Yeah.
It's not the right place. But if someone were to come in and just say, I want to learn jiu-jitsu, this is the right place.
Right.
And it will help you get
it's a byproduct of it.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But if you're going in there specifically to learn it, it's just not going to work. Yeah. You know, like it's not going to work in any martial art.
Right.
In any martial art, besides maybe like Krav Maga, where literally the whole thing is
just
kill or be
people
killed.
in the throat.
You know,
right.
Like kick your balls before before you kick mine, kind of thing. Then that's what you're going to get. But you know, I still think jiu-jitsu is the best.
Yeah.
Just because of the mentality, the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and fuck the people that say otherwise. You know,
I mean, because when you think about it, just a really quick, really effective arm drag, and you could pretty much.
I remember when you did that.
You can control almost anything. You know what I mean? Because the person's coming at you face to face, a sweet arm drag, and now you're behind them.
Yeah.
You want to tell them the story?
No, you could do it.
I don't know it as well as, but I do remember just it was my first few years
in our younger years.
Yeah, first few years in Charlotte, we went out for a friend of ours' birthday who actually trains jiu-jitsu too. He trains in New York now.
Was he visiting?
No, he was
living here.
He was living here at the time, I thought, and he was partying hard. Okay. It was partying. It was back when he was partying.
Yeah,
but went to a bar and basically he I don't know what happened, but some dudes were just
dancing up on one of our friends' soon-to-be wife,
and
fiance.
He didn't like it.
Fiance.
You tell the story. I don't remember.
So one guy was like just dancing up close to one of our friends' fiance, and she was like, "Hey, no," and she like literally like pushed him aside, and then he just like forcibly was getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
And it's in a club situation, so you're packed in there like sardines, but there's still a common like bubble of personal space. And so my friend immediately turns, pushes the guy, and then the guy has like 2 or 3 other friends. Just a sweet arm drag into a rear naked choke and just pulled him towards the bar. As soon as he hit the ground, I walked out because the last thing I want is the bouncer to take me out.
Yeah. Right.
Because then you're kicked out. They know who you are. And whatever.
Right.
So,
or if there's cops outside, you're automatically handed over.
Right. So immediately, I mean, as soon as the rear naked choke goes on to somebody who's got their adrenaline running and they've already had some booze, they're going to go out fairly quickly because the blood stops rushing to the head.
Yeah.
And so as soon as he went out, I let him go, and I literally walked out as if like nothing was happening. Because there was so much commotion, nobody's really paying attention who did what, and then bartenders are trying to get like everybody situated, and we de-escalated the situation with an arm drag.
Arm drag, arm drags work.
See, that's the thing. I actually have 2 stories. You just remind me because I used to go clubbing a lot.
Are we really?
Yes.
When is that Max coming back?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So I always wear black t-shirts.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
You're wearing gray right now.
No, when I go to the club, I always wear black t-shirts.
Yeah.
Why?
In Richmond,
it's a Yakuza
all
thing.
bouncers wear black t-shirts. That's like a requirement.
Okay.
So they know who it is.
Okay.
So I always wear a black t-shirt because I did some bouncing jobs. And so
is this
I remember,
so people won't fuck with you then?
No. Here's the thing. I remember being at this one club. I had my jacket on because it was cold. I think it was like around this time, a couple years ago. But black t-shirt. I got a jacket on, and we're just like in the club, and obviously it's like we're packed in like sardines, like you said.
Yeah.
And there's these two guys that bumped into my group, and like they like almost pushed my girlfriend over and my other friend over. And so obviously I'm a little offended.
Yeah. At
but
first
I'm
you're
not-
like, hey.
yeah, I'm not gonna fight them or anything. I
Right.
just look at them and be like, hey guys, watch where you're going.
Yeah.
But they look like they're about to fight.
Oh.
And so this is what I did. I took off my jacket,
Mm-hmm.
black t-shirt.
Right.
And so I walked around the group to the other side, pointed at the other bouncers. They pointed at me, and I was like, this group right here. And I got them kicked out.
Yeah.
Hey.
So that's why I always wear a black t-shirt.
There you go.
But another situation, it was actually outside of the club when we're in the streets, and like everyone's getting chauffeured home and stuff.
Yeah.
This guy pulled a knife on me.
Oh.
And so my first instinct was grab the knife, which thankfully it was like a small knife, so I grabbed his hand instead.
Okay.
And I like kneed him in the gut. But then when I came in for a second knee for some reason, I let go.
Oh.
And his knife hand came down like kind of like this.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I just need him in the gut.
Right.
But then I need the knife.
Oh.
Oh, did you get cut in the knee?
I got cut in the shin
Oh, okay.
because I aimed a little high. But
Yeah.
I actually have a cut. I'll show you later. But
Yeah.
there was one of those situations where I was like, okay, maybe I should have stopped after the first one. But
Did
then
you
I just
connect with the second one?
yeah to the knife.
Oh.
So I have a knife in my leg, and this guy's like over here, and I'm literally by myself because like everyone's already going home. I'm going to my car.
Yeah.
And so like, oh shit, what do I do? This guy's like about to be on the ground. I got a knife in my leg, so I took the knife out, dropped it, and I just fucking ran. And I had to come back like an hour later to get my car. And so that's one of the self defense situations. No jiu-jitsu at all. That wasn't my
Yeah.
first instinct. My first instinct was Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you do Muay Thai? Were you doing Muay Thai then?
yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could do it now.
Why don't you do it now?
I don't know, man. The classes are at different times. I don't want to show up. I don't want to buy the gear. Like, it's just so much. And, like, I don't want to. Like, I want to spar. That's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's just I want to spar. I don't
Why
want
don't
to
you just do it? Jared does that. He just shows up to spar.
Shows up to
Yeah, but then I got to buy the gear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want that freaking fungi infested shit that Jay has. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Speaking of fungi infested shit,
Great segue.
Flow Grappling put out this doc film just yesterday.
No.
It's called Daisy Fresh. And it's about the
Didn't Show Your Roll just put out like all these sweaters and shirts and stuff
Yeah.
say Daisy Fresh? Okay.
I
didn't know what
they
thing was.
quote unquote sponsor this school in Mount Vernon, Illinois. Andrew Wiltsey, if you know that competitor, he trains out of there. It's Pedigo Fighting Submission Fighting School.
Okay.
But it's basically, it just chronicles this team that's in Mount Vernon, Illinois, which it's a poorer town, and they're in an old laundromat called Daisy Fresh Laundromat.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of guys that live at the gym. They live and train at the gym all the time. And when I tell you the level of poverty, not poverty, the level of just filth, as well as poor upkeep of the building, and the guy,
Like the structure, or
the
like
structure
the
itself,
mats
like the mats are
themselves.
horrible. The mats are like holy. They look like they're getting eaten
Swiss
by
cheese.
moths.
Ooh.
You know, like and the guys are packed in there, and they want to be there. They really want to be there. And honestly, like you could say, like the jiu-jitsu hippies, but some of the stuff that they're showing in there, I won't spoil it. It's there's holes in the ceiling
Ugh.
with animals that are up there. There's
Well, as long as the animal's wearing gis, it's fine.
there's dead animals. There's
dead animals.
There's literally in the first 5 minutes they talk about a dead raccoon that falls out the ceiling. Stuff like that. They don't. So ironically, it's in a laundromat, but they don't have a laundry. They don't have a washer and dryer in there, so they have to drive to another laundromat.
Yeah.
What the hell?
In like an apartment complex, basically, like one of those apartment complexes, laundry rooms or whatever, and they do their laundry, and when they don't have detergent, guess what these motherfuckers do?
They just throw it in there.
Dish soap.
No,
They don't wash it.
very close. They go to the restroom that's just a ways away.
Yeah.
And they go to the dispensary of the soap and they double fist it, the double fisted soap, and then they run back to the washer and start smearing it on their clothes and then run the wash.
Nobody's got like a water bottle or something?
Dude, I don't even know what they're thinking. I don't know. Like, that's what they were doing. This is what we do. It was like, what? Like, you just get a cup? Yeah. Like, even a cup to do that?
Yeah. Or you just take the freaking soap dispenser itself because they're detachable.
Yeah. But this gym is absolutely, like, they have barely any room for like a makeshift kitchen that it just.
So does nobody? I mean, did they go into the financial aspect of the gym or no? You watched the documentary. Did they go?
They didn't go into it. They're just like, we just don't have any money. I'm like, man, you could probably figure something out.
Yeah. You can get a free water cup at Starbucks at any point in time.
Yeah. Do you want me to put pause and?
Yeah, we can keep going. You can just probably let her out, right?
Yeah, I can let her out. Hang on.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. That's the thing with like gyms and shit. Because I used to wrestle, and like, I went to a poor school, poorly funded, and so the mats were filled with like staff and impetigo and like all this other shit, and like, it was just gross, right? Yeah. But like, if you took care of yourself, you yourself were fine. Yeah. Which, I mean, as a wrestler, I didn't really care about anyone else besides myself, so that was fine. But like, man, in jiu-jitsu, dude, it's a community, man. If you're not trying to take care of others, it's just.
Are you really trained? Like, are you really part of the team if you're not trying to take care?
Exactly.
of others?
You're like, do you guys wash your belts?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please.
I wash my belt, and if I don't wash it, I'll at least spray. I do between washes. Is spray it down with antibacterial, the Lysol antibacterial.
See, I don't understand people that don't wash their belts. Like, I get the whole meme of like,
let your white belt become black. Yeah.
Yeah. That's stupid. Obviously, it's just a meme. Yeah. But like, there's people that legitimately argue with me where they don't wash their belts because they don't sweat on the belt.
What? Dude, I've come home and my belt is drenched on some of those nights on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
When Jay turns on the heat?
Dude, my belt
doesn't turn on the heat.
My belt is just completely soaked.
When I'm taking photos, I can't take, like, I have to wipe my lens for like 10 minutes just to take 2 shots.
But yeah, dude, that's the thing. Like, you're on the mat, it's going to get wet.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to get damp. It's going to get soaked. So, like,
there's plenty of dudes that leave a puddle, and then you lay in that same puddle.
Yeah.
Your belt's going to get sweat
ridiculous. And, like, people that don't wear shoes when they go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's
the worst.
That's BJJ Jabron-like behavior.
Yeah, it is Jabron.
Yeah, that's the worst, dude. Like, that one guy that...
to call it out. Oh, yeah, I remember when you...
Man, that one guy, man.
I'm the one who had to say something to him.
Yeah, because if I said something, I would have gotten pissed because I was tilted. I was like, dude, that's so gross. Like,
yeah,
I just, ugh.
I was super nice about it. I pulled him to the side and he said, "Hey, just FYI, we're here. We usually just wear. We do wear. We wear.
We wear 100%.
We wear
flip flops. I don't care if you take somebody else's flip flops and tell them apologize.
Yeah, if you need to take somebody else's flip flops, just take it. But
but man, even then, there's still guys that have some really sketchy behavior that I don't approve of, and I don't know. I just feel like it's not my place to say anything. Mm-hmm. You know, like we talked about it the other day about the locker room situation.
Oh, just how there's stuff in there.
Yeah,
I feel like Max just pulls a Marshawn Lynch, but like, I'm just here to train.
He is.
Next question.
He is the Marshawn Lynch of top martial arts. Absolutely.
You know, I feel like I'm the new guy. You know, I still feel like I'm the new guy.
Dude, how long have you been here? 2 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years. But like the thing is, you know, it's like you guys have known each other for twice as long, if not longer, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I can joke with you guys and all that shit. And
but this is how these podcasts are what bring people together, bro.
Exactly. But like then like other people that they don't associate with that much aside from training.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, I don't know, man. Like I had to talk to Jay to talk to you. And Jay's not going to talk to you. So,
so I got to try to get a med to talk to you.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting thing. People, especially higher level belts, that are not aware. Either they're not aware or they're just being dicks when rolling. And when we're getting close to the edge where like there's concrete or like the tiles, the tiles or the wood, or getting close to the wall. Like, listen, I know a lot of schools train using the walls. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Yeah.
We don't use the walls at top.
because they're not. I think partially because they're not reinforced.
Well, that
Yeah, we're gonna
reinforced.
smash.
There's
through
only
it. We're gonna
drywall.
smash through over to the laundromat.
Yeah, there's only drywall between the mat and.
And part of it is like Jay's really big about IBJJF.
Yeah, so once you go into the yellow,
you're not you don't have walls to use to when you're on bottom. You can't wall walk or whatever.
Yeah,
You're not gonna do that. So it's people who win in getting close to the edge. One, they see that they're close to the edge and they continue to go with the same aggression that they were if they were in the middle of the mat.
Yeah.
And especially if I stop with the aggression, so I release my grips or release whatever tension I have going on, and they try to take advantage of the situation, and they just get a better position with me, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
I'll just stop.
That does happen a lot.
It happens a lot. And
if it ever happens to me and I'm on top, I'm always like, stop, same position with your same grips. We're going to just move back to the middle, and the person's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, but this is usually for me on bottom.
Oh,
I'm
on bottom,
guard.
it's kind of hard to say when to stop, sort of.
Nah, man.
It's pretty. You have to have the if the person on you just brought up an example of how you have the self-awareness of to know where you're at on the mat.
I'll literally, if the person on bottom can't see, like let's say they're side control, they're like looking at me, I'll knock on the wood.
Okay, I'm
like,
using
hey, we're
examples
close to the
of
wood.
I'm on the bottom and I have the self-awareness to figure out to realize, oh, by the way,
I just touched carpet.
My head's about to hit this 2x4.
Yeah,
right. So it's that kind of that shit happens all the time, and it just does, and it happens at other schools too. It's like, hey, just relax. We're just gonna reset.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's also for the higher belts. I don't get, but for the lower belts,
I totally
they don't have that much
I understand
situational awareness.
yeah.
But there's also the aspect of like unspoken rules,
right?
And like I think that's the dumb part of jiu-jitsu.
What?
Unspoken rules. Like what? If we have rules, just tell me.
Yeah.
Like
tell me, put it up on a board.
I don't know if Traven ever did this with you guys, but back in Richmond, whenever he came, we had to wear our belts a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
We had to have the
Black
the
part.
bar
on
the left side. It's like samurai shit. He says we always draw with our right hand, whatever. So that's like an unspoken rule, And he basically like put guys that put their the bar on the other side. They put them to the ringer, and without even telling them after. It doesn't make any sense. Like there's also the aspect of like we got to bow to each other before we step on the mat. Like when we're stepping off the mat, before we roll, before we drill. After we drill, after we roll. Like all this respecting
the mat,
and it's just like we don't really do it. But then it's like we can go to other places. It's like expected. So it's like that's an unspoken rule. That's just I think is dumb.
So you're saying like we don't have a lot of the unspoken rules that a lot of other schools do. And so if you ever
we're a little
school,
looser, but then like certain people that we train with, I'm not going to name any names, expect certain things like that,
Would you say the bowing nowadays, like just now, would you say that the bowing has been substituted with the smacking of the hands and the fist bump?
Yeah, that's our form of bowing.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's easier. It's more relaxed. It fits with what jiu-jitsu is. But like if you go to, if you do like judo or karate, that's like the first thing they tell you.
Yeah.
And it's like ingrained in you. Every time you do anything, you bow. But then in jiu-jitsu, it's like, you have a school like us that's just like whatever. And then you go to like a Gracie school and they're like, why aren't you bowing?
Yeah.
Why aren't you saying this? Why aren't you saying that? You got to go us every time you do something.
Yeah.
Right. Or call it professor.
Yeah. Which when we do it, we're just memeing.
Yeah, I know. Somebody did call me professor the other day, and I was like, nah.
Somebody called you professor?
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. I was like, nah.
See, when I call someone professor, I say it like, unless it's like to someone like Traven, I'll be like, professor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I just don't like those unspoken rule things.
I would have a hard time calling any of my friends professor.
Yeah.
It's weird. But what I notice a lot of times is that when I'm in competitions and I'll see like two Brazilians, one Brazilian coach and another Brazilian, and the Brazilians are on the same level and they're obviously friends.
Yeah.
I'll hear them call each other professor if they're black belts. like one's in the middle is like professor, like sin las pegadas, and like you say, like those like okay vai professor, I'm like,
is that how I should address you now?
I don't know.
Competition?
I definitely don't.
No.
I would just be weird.
We
It's
need
even when
code names.
yeah. I know. It doesn't even does it even say professor on our certificates? I don't even notice.
Like as your name? No.
No, it just says Ahmed
Yeah.
and
No,
Edgar.
it just says a name.
It says your name.
I don't think anyone's certificate has professor on it.
Yeah, but it does say professor for Professor Travin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
because it's like awarded by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
That
guy's up for his corral belt.
Who's gonna give it to him?
Probably just IBJJF.
Yeah,
so.
we talked about
Oh,
this.
yeah.
They're not gonna give it to him
Who's gonna
unless he
give it?
pays. They're not gonna give it to him. He doesn't have a senior. Because remember he left Cavalcante.
Yeah.
Who would give it to him? You think?
Nah, no one's gonna give it to him, dude.
I don't know.
At this point, does he really need it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think he wants it.
Oh, 100%.
I think he wants
Oh,
it.
he's got to pay for it. That's the thing. He's got to pay a buttload,
Yeah.
or he's got to go under someone. He's got to affiliate with someone.
that has it.
Yeah. Oh, I think you have to be 7th or 8th to give it. Don't
Yeah,
you?
he's up. No, your 7th is your corral.
Yeah.
He's at 6.
He's
Yeah,
at
but
6.
you have to be like 8 to give it to someone. So
you have to be
go
at
under
one
someone.
stripe corral. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has to go under someone that's like 8 or higher, doesn't he?
I don't think so. I think it's just the amount of time that IBJJF recognizes, but you still get awarded it by somebody. So he'll probably get awarded by. I can see him get awarded by.
Who?
Even though he's not a corral belt. I'm just saying somebody who would give it to him, because I've seen Henzo
Give it to other folks.
Give it to other folks who are higher than him, but he wrapped it. He's the black belt. But I've seen him do that, and I think that
He's royalty, so
Yeah.
right. I would say the person that comes to mind is either Comprito
Mm-hmm.
or honestly, Andre Gaval.
Gaval.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
you think so?
I could say
see that.
Gaval, yeah, because they're really good friends. They're really good friends.
I think we should go under Atos.
Did you hear what happened to Atos?
Mendez brothers left him, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it makes so much sense. So this is a good thing to talk about, because I think like
It was an amicable separation.
it's amicable because it's strictly business.
Because strictly business.
It's
But we discussed like the strength of the teams.
right.
If it's a strictly business like decision, and we
Yeah.
go into it more, but from my point of view, from the outside looking, from the East Coast looking at the West Coast, the Mendez guys have a lot of younger belts coming up, but they don't have the black belt stable that
Yeah.
Atos has
Right.
now in San Diego. And now their affiliates that are growing with Lira making a school, and I forgot who else.
JT Torres.
The JT Torres already on the East Coast.
Yeah,
And I'm
they've
sure
got,
he's got
they've got
other
other
ones.
affiliates. They got affiliates in Texas. They got affiliates here.
They got
Yeah.
affiliates everywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah, Fernando here.
So that comes down to the fact that I don't think the Mendez brothers were making money off those affiliates.
No, of course
Right.
not.
They're
No,
not.
'cause
but
I wouldn't expect
But
them
Andre
to.
and Ramon Lemos were
Yeah, of course, because
Okay,
it's their thing.
right.
You know?
So they're making money now. They have the opportunity to make money off their own affiliation.
Yeah,
And just realize this is that there's the affiliates that are when contractually they're obligated to do seminars.
yeah.
How much do you think the Mendez brothers are popping per seminar?
Per guy or
So that's the other thing is the Mendez brothers, when they do seminars, from what I heard,
yeah.
you're only getting one brother and a purple belt. You're not getting both. Right?
I mean, I honestly, for the Mendez brothers, even just one of them, I'd pay like $100.
Sure.
Oh,
Wait,
to
they're-
go. Yeah, no, but he's asking like how much are they getting paid to show?
much-
How much are they getting paid to show up?
Yeah.
Probably nothing.
What?
Not a
Nah.
lot. Not a lot.
What?
No.
It can't be.
The purple belt's not getting paid.
$4,000.
4 G's.
4 G's a pop.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Even if there's like a low attendance.
Yeah. They're a show. That's a show price.
All right, we're going back to the Wale thing.
No, but see, that's so that the school is the one that takes on the burden of paying
Yeah.
them that,
Okay,
and
yeah.
they'll make it back on who
shows
attends,
up.
right? But because of their popularity, they're packing that place out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's different though, because like the Mendes brothers, they're like legends. You know, no one's not gonna show up.
Right.
But
And you're getting just so you know, I've gone to a gi seminar.
You're getting technique after technique.
I've gotten stuff that I use now.
yeah, you're getting good shit. You know, because
like
you're
a rash guard and stuff.
getting the flippers.
Yeah.
Of course, I got a patch.
Yeah, AOJ,
Got
AOJ all
RVCA
day.
gi, the whole nine.
But no, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, obviously it's a great business decision for them because now they get even bigger cut.
I think you get a bigger cut. I'm not sure if because their academy is so, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but like the modernness of their academy.
Yeah.
If they're gonna want their affiliates to follow that same
You have to wear
modernness,
You have to wear all white.
like everything all white, the mats all white.
Except for
Believe
Black
in
Fridays.
believe in achieve gis.
Right, to like have everything to a certain, like how many people can afford that type of affiliation?
I
I
mean,
don't-
Gracie Baja does the same thing.
I hope they.
Yeah, but Gracie Baja has like an affiliation program where they help you get to a certain
Right.
level,
It's a
and then
franchise.
you have to take over.
Yeah, you're buying into a franchise with them.
Wouldn't they do the same thing though? Or do you think they'll just be like, "Hey, who wants to affiliate under us? Oh, here's the thing."
I don't even think they do. I think if they're smart, they say, you know, they give them some baseline type things, but they're
Like
not.
you
gonna
have
be
to have an all white academy. One.
No, no.
No, I'm talking about the paint, not the people that.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevin said something similar.
What? Oh, the paint scheme.
The matte thing. He had the gray or black
Yeah.
mats.
I just like the clean look of it.
What's
Yeah.
wrong? But are we? Did he tell Jay that he needs to change his mats? Is that?
I told him that.
Is he? But what I'm saying is Travis.
Jay's not gonna
Is
change
Travis? No, he is. He said he's getting new mats.
Yeah, he said he's
Yeah,
getting
but
new
he's not going
mats.
to change colors, is he?
Oh, I hope so.
I hope he
I
gets.
hope he gets consistent mats because I'm tired of Muay Thai mats next to Jiu-Jitsu mats. That's
Where are the Muay
ridiculous.
Thai mats?
The Muay Thai mats are the ones that look kind of like this material where it's kind of like interwoven and you get
okay.
stuck on it. That's why sometimes people's feet will get stuck or like.
Is
their
that over
knees
there
will
on
get
the
stuck.
right? Towards the
It's
bathroom?
mixed in, but yeah, it's over more away from the door.
Yeah.
On the second blue patch, most of those are Muay Thai mats.
Oh.
Mm.
So I hope he gets all Jiu-Jitsu mats because I'm tired of getting stuck. That's why I don't roll over there.
On the other side.
Yeah,
I like the side where we were always hanging
yeah,
out.
the geriatric corner. I like that side
It's like,
too.
wow, you guys
Wait,
are stretching
they
for
call
like,
it the geriatric? You call it the geriatric corner?
Yeah, me and Wagner call it geriatric corner
Why?
because it's a bunch. It's either all the higher ups or it's just guys that always hurt.
that's where you get a good stretch.
Yeah,
I thought the guys, you guys are always stretching by the bathroom. I thought.
that's because they don't want to. They don't want to get caught not drilling. But no, yeah, he said Travis said something like a year and a half ago or something about all the schools now need to have black or gray mats.
So we're just behind.
Well, he's gonna move. Hopefully, Jay moves in another location. We're looking. So.
He said he was. I'm hoping the paint scheme definitely changes.
I've never been to a seminar where we ran out of that. It was just so packed that you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
You
that
couldn't
was
do-
to the
bad.
gills.
I got kicked in the head. I got kicked in the.
Did you count how many people there were?
No, I'd have to look at the photo.
There's at least 6.
At
or
one
7.
point we were like, oh, there's like 30 now, and then like we blinked. It was like now there's definitely 50.
I told you have to wait 5 minutes because people are going to show up late.
Yeah,
And then there was a bunch of people.
Travis showed up before everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was funny.
unfortunately.
That was funny. I was expecting them to show up later.
And then you have the people that show up that BJJ Jabron like behavior. People that show up to the seminar but don't want to partake in the seminar. Well, I guess it's that you're not paying for it, and so you don't do it, right?
Yeah.
But
You're on the edge of the. I mean, you're still on the edge of the mat, soaking in some.
Yeah, you're learning something. You're peripheral learning.
sure,
You might not be doing the drill, right? But
Right.
okay, if you come to train that Monday or that Tuesday, you're definitely going to ask. Right?
See, I don't-
Hey, you're going to
Yeah, I
be
don't
like, hey,
think
saw
that's
Travis do
jabroni.
X
I
or
don't think
Y.
that's your jabroni, personality trait or
yeah.
a thing. Because I used to do that when I was hurt.
Yeah,
but
but
I was
being
actually
hurt
hurt.
is
I was
one
actually
thing.
Being hurt is another.
Being
thing.
hurt
That's,
is one
that's
thing.
something else.
Yeah.
Showing up early with a cup of coffee and just chilling is another.
Yeah. This is coming and chilling like you're at the barber shop, which is, sometimes the jiu-jitsu school is like that. I don't know. Whatever. It's not. Do I think it's that big of a deal? I don't think it's that big of a deal, but whatever. It's a seminar. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it happens like literally once a year.
Yeah.
I don't. But the thing is, for me, like, I don't know. I'm not going to go out of my way to go to somebody else's seminar though in our school. The only reason I went to a Guy Mendes seminar is because I was visiting Houston at the time, and Guy was just happened to be there, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
At the school I was training at.
I think I've gone. I don't think I've gone to any seminar where there wasn't something for me or something like involving me.
What do you mean? Oh, like something that you either your school or
Yeah,
you
it's
were
either
getting
it's either
promoted?
that the school that I'm literally at,
Mhm.
or it's like a really good friend of mine that I'm just going to support him.
Yeah.
Or like I know the guy like Travin or David. Like
Yeah.
I go to their seminars just because like it's convenient for me, or like I'm getting something out of it. Like
Yeah.
you know, I remember going to Virginia Beach for I think like 6 black belts that were each going to teach a technique over the course. It was basically a camp.
Yeah.
Over the course of 3 days, they were each going to teach a technique. Like 2 of them were going to teach a technique per day. So that was cool. And I only went there because I knew all the black belts.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I don't know.
Plus, if you got the time, that's solid. 3 solid days.
Yeah, 3 solid
Yeah.
days. I stayed at a hotel like down the street.
Yeah.
You know, we got really good training in, really good.
Did you eat well?
technicians.
Did you eat well?
Did I eat well?
Yeah.
I did. A Thai restaurant.
I'm interested to know how the jiu-jitsu, like when they go on a jiu-jitsu cruise, how that all works out.
That'd be
hopefully,
legit.
hopefully they don't get coronavirus.
Kung flu, man. It's a kung flu.
It's a kung.
No, I mean,
So like, is everything because you're there 24 hours a day, and like you're in a confined space where you can't just leave and like, hey, I'm gonna go back home. Or
I would
whatever.
imagine it's kind of like wrestling camps. It's just on a cruise.
Do you think that they're? I don't think they're going as hard though.
No, of course not.
on a
It's-
cruise. Nah,
No, they're
Definitely
Yeah,
not.
they're trying to have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'd be like wrestling camps. You know, you have 2 or 3 sessions a day, and you show up to them. You get your
At your
training in.
leisure.
Would you pay for it?
Depends on who's on the cruise.
I wouldn't. I feel like that's the one thing I wouldn't do. I feel like
Go on a cruise.
that's a Wale type.
the
Wale
only,
type
reason,
situation.
the only reason why I wouldn't is because they even say in the just going to school in education, they tell you can't learn more than 3 things in a day. So if you're in there doing 3 or 4 seminars, like how much of that are you like actually retaining?
That's
For 3, let's say if the cruise is 3 days, how much of all of that knowledge are you actually retaining? Unless, like when you go to these conferences for work or something like that, they're like, you'll get the PowerPoint after the seminar. It'll be in your email. You know, you can go through that again. But unless you get a video or some type of pictorial something,
Right.
you're not going to retain those 20 passes that they went over during those 3 days.
That's true.
And they're not going to let you record it.
Definitely not.
Unless they did it where like you get the first session of the day is technique, and the second session is applying that technique.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand that. You know, that makes more sense.
Right.
So I don't know. I would probably just go on the cruise just to go on a cruise.
Would
That's
you
my thing.
go on a cruise? I don't think I'd ever want to go to a cruise.
I've been on a cruise.
I've been on a
I went to
cruise.
the Bahamas.
Really?
This is interesting. I've been on a cruise and I've also sailed. I was more scared on the cruise than I was on a 48-foot sailboat.
Why?
You don't want a Titanic
So
situation.
this
Or Poseidon
Because you feel
situation.
more in
because-
control.
when you're on the small sailboat,
Yeah.
yeah, because one, I'm clipped in,
Right.
so and I'm more in control of like the sails and where the boat's going. Granted, a rogue wave could come at
You
any
know the
point in time,
captain too.
but yeah, but when I was on the cruise and we were at the top floor and I'm like right at the edge, I'm looking at the water. I was so excited, so happy, and I felt just a little bit of a shake. I then pictured a skyscraper floating in the middle of the Gulf, shaking, and I'm like, "There's nothing you can do."
Right.
You've seen all the videos where they're like, "Oh, go to the 8th floor, and all the flotation devices are going to come out there and this and that." It's like, yeah, none of that. Like when your panic sets in.
Mhm. You can't go anywhere. You're on a fucking
You're
ship.
just there.
The only way I can think about it was I'm on a skyscraper that's floating in the middle of the ocean, because those things are huge.
Huge.
Yeah, they're big.
Versus the little sailboat, I was like, all right,
Even
I
the
got
small
this.
ones are big. Even the small ones, dude. I went on a small one. That shit was scary. Like when you wake up on the first night or the first day, and you don't remember you're on a ship,
Yeah,
and you look out the window,
yeah,
dude, that's the scariest feeling because all you see is just water. And like when you're on the lower decks, because you don't want to pay that much because you're a cheap motherfucker, the water's like right here. It's like right here. You're looking out like, holy shit.
This is what I will say though. So the first time, I think it might have been the first or second time that I told Ahmed that I was going to. So my father-in-law is a sail captain, so he had his own sailboat, and he sails it from New Hampshire down to Stewart, Florida. And so he's like, whenever you got some time, you got a 3-day weekend, you want to jump on the boat, let me know. I'm like, all right. So it was a particular weekend, and I told Ahmed, hey, I'm not going to train this weekend. I'm going to go sailing. We're sailing from New Hampshire to, I think it was Atlantic City. right? So he was like, "Hey man, be careful, make sure you have this, make sure you have that." I was like,
I was telling you to be careful. Yeah.
I was like, dude, the way I related it because of his expertise, my father-in-law's expertise, I was like, it was like going on a road trip. I was like, I'm just getting in the car and going. Right? He's like, no, but you're gonna be on a boat in the middle of the water. There's like nothing else. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't think about it the way he did. So
I'm just thinking like I'm a human and I'm in the middle of the ocean. That's the way I'm thinking about it.
So the one time that I felt what he felt was when I woke up one morning and like you get up and you look out and literally you see nothing else but the horizon and water. That's it. You might see a bird here and there, if that, but just all you see is water.
Did you see any dolphins?
And like, yes. That's and the dolphins actually make like a braid in the front of the boat as the boat is going because they're like using the wake or whatever in the front.
To swim less.
Yeah.
You're basically just having the boat swim for them.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They're smart.
Dolphins are scary, dude.
Super fucking smart.
Dolphins are fucking scary.
What I will say is the amount of serenity you get out there because there's like, you're totally disconnected aside from like the GPS and everything like that, but you're totally disconnected. The only people you can talk to are whoever's on the boat, and you're just listening to the waves, salt water, and just.
Would you ever go camping?
I've been camping. Yeah.
Would that be a similar experience?
No.
I meant like actually camping. Like
define actually camping.
Like going out in the rough, going around the bush, with a knife, nothing else.
There's like campsites in Asheville, around Asheville. You can just go and.
Nah, man, I'm talking about going out there. You got nothing. Maybe you got like a tent, a water bottle, and a knife. You do that?
No food?
No. Well, maybe you bring a couple.
We get a couple.
Some mix.
Well, how long?
Yeah,
2 days.
Oh, okay, I was like, I'm not doing a whole Bear Grylls situation.
Yeah. 2 or 3 days.
I would do it. I would definitely do it.
I would do that.
I would do it. 100%.
I wouldn't go on a boat.
You wouldn't go on a boat?
3 days.
Really?
No.
Not for 3 days. I would go out camping.
I would go camping for 3 days.
But you guys wouldn't do a boat?
No.
See, here's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Like,
you get seasick?
No. I mean, I
feel like too many things can go wrong.
No, not that.
It's a controlled situation. Well,
I would go on a boat just for the experience, but for multiple days, like...
You're not just sitting there. For the record, you're not just sitting there. Like, you have shifts.
You working.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing something,
me,
but
the
it's like...
variable that's not controllable...
Yeah. Is the water?
Is the weather.
The weather? No. Well, that's why you have to plan everything out. You don't just like, hey, let's get on the boat and start going.
Shit just doesn't just happen sometimes?
No.
Now, see, I'm with Edgar on this, but I'm against you. I'm with you with saying that I wouldn't want to be stuck on a boat. Like, that's a thing. Like, I want to be able to get off.
Though?
You know? Like, I want to be able to get off and do something. Like,
this is the caveat, though. When you get on a boat, you're getting on it because you know what's going to happen for the next 3 days.
Exactly. That's what I don't want to do because I know what's going to happen.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying I'm too pussy to get on it.
The med can't swim.
No, I can swim. I'm not going to drown.
I'm not gonna.
But I'm not breaking world records. So
he's like, I'm coming on there with me and my water wings.
Dude, I would drown. I would drown for sure if I didn't have a life vest on.
Oh, in the open ocean?
Yeah, I'm dense as a motherfucker. Like,
really?
I will sink like a rock.
This is the caveat: is you drown in the open ocean partially, even if you do have like a life vest on, because of the waves.
Yeah, because they'll just take you under.
Yeah.
They'll keep on taking you under. It's
the
undercurrent too, right? Sucks you in.
Depends where you are.
It's the sharks.
Yeah.
I would, dude. I would definitely rather go camping than fucking boating.
That was one thing. We were sailing down the ICW in Florida, and we're like, hey, if you want to like bath, you could just like jump in the water and like hold on to the boat as we're going. And I was like, all right, I mean, that sounds kind of cool. Somebody just brought it up. I was like, all right, that sounds kind of cool. And then we're going, and I'm like, what is that? And I look down, and there's just like an entire school of jellyfish. And I'm like, it would have sucked.
Yeah.
If you were
Have you gotten stung by jellyfish?
I've never been, but my wife has.
It's painful.
Yeah.
Super painful.
So, needless to say, I didn't jump in.
Dude, when I went to the Bahamas, they had you can go in the ocean, at the beach, and they had like scuba lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't fucking need that. Just give me the goggles. So I take the goggles and the snorkel, and I go out there, and I'm underwater, and the first thing I see is a lionfish. Is that what they're called? The
don't touch that
ones?
thing. Yeah.
I was like, oh man,
they
look
look
at that lionfish.
super cool. But
my cousin's like, you're not supposed to touch that. It's like, why not? It's like, they're poisonous.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you know? It's like, I just learned it from the scuba lesson. I'm like, I don't fucking need that shit.
The one you were paying attention to.
I did. You know what? I did do this recently last year. So we sailed in the Bahamas. That water looks like Gatorade.
Yeah, it's clear. Clear as fuck.
Literally. So
It's like the movies.
it was my first time. They're like, "Hey, do you want to take a scuba lesson?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So like, all right, well, when we go out there, you guys are gonna go down, and you guys are gonna follow the instructor. The instructor's gonna tell folks to go through like a tunnel and this and that. You guys don't do that. Just follow the instructor. Okay. Yeah. When you're down there, the hand signals aren't really that clear. So like when he was like, follow
Like
X, Y
the water
person.
just
Dude,
makes
so
it,
I went through the tunnel, the whole nine. This lady kicked me in the face. It was very interesting. For my first time scuba diving, we scuba dove twice. The first time I got very like nervous, but like after you get your breathing under control, it's literally almost like somebody doing top pressure, and you're like, all right, I am about to die. But then like you're like, all right, focus, control your breathing, and you can get through it.
No one.
Did they tell you the I guess the golden rule of scuba, where it's like
Your goggles don't matter?
no, save yourself.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's like when you're on a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the
save
record,
yourself.
for those listening as well as both of you, if you guys have never heard, and hate to plug, well, not hate to, but I'll plug Joe Rogan's podcast too. When
with
he's,
Donald Cerrone.
oh my god, dude,
Yeah.
my heart started racing when he was telling the story, and then
you
somebody
hear
made a
that?
cartoon out of
No.
it.
So Donald Cerrone basically went scuba diving,
But he
and
goes cave diving.
He went like caving.
So he's deep.
Yeah.
He's deep, and he's with his buddy,
Mm-hmm.
and he can't find his buddy
In
and
the
so-
fucking cave?
In the fucking
Wait,
cave.
I thought it was some other dude that he didn't know. He doesn't.
Well,
he's like, I don't dive with people I don't know because you need to dive with people you
yeah.
trust.
Either way,
Yeah.
he went caving, and this dude got lost, and so he's trying to look for him.
Yeah.
Abandoning all the rules, where like if someone gets lost, leave them. Because
Yeah.
it's better to have one person to die than two people die. Because it's very unlikely you're going to find him. Which he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't find him.
But one of the things
Did
too
they,
is
did they
He found himself.
yeah,
Yeah, he
found
came
himself.
out.
But one of the other rules is if you do panic, don't start like wiggling around and touching stuff or whatever, because then all the soot starts coming everywhere,
Yeah.
and then you can't see within 2 inches in front of your face.
So did he freak out?
Yeah, of course. Because it's like, oh man, I can't find my buddy. Oh fuck, I'm lost. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die.
And
Was
then
he,
you're
was he
panicking.
out of oxygen?
Well, he wasn't out of it, but he's looking again because you're panicking. You're breathing more. You're using more oxygen. Now, if you had whatever amount, let's say 10 gallons of oxygen, which is not accurate, but whatever, it's going down faster because you're breathing faster.
Yeah,
because
you're
panicking.
hyperventilating.
Yeah,
Your adrenaline's kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same.
but you get a chance to listen to it because
Was it the most recent? He's always on there, so I don't know which one.
No,
it is.
it's
it
like-
would be the most recent, I think.
Yeah,
Or
it's the
the-
most recent one.
Either first most recent or second most recent.
Yeah,
Yeah, he says fuck like every other sentence. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was talking about this with my my girlfriend because we were watching Fear Factor.
Mhm.
You guys ever seen Fear
The
Factor?
original one?
No, the one with
Like-
Ludacris.
Huh?
The one with Ludacris. where
Oh,
it's
you're serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
We were watching Fear Factor, and we were talking about how we would do in those situations.
Mhm.
And I told her, like, dude, the primary thing is just don't freak out.
yeah. Don't panic.
Like, I feel like I wouldn't, because I'm afraid of spiders.
Yeah,
I don't like spiders. I don't like bugs.
yeah. I don't like to eat bugs.
I'm claustrophobic, and I don't like the dark. But I
Oh.
feel like if I was in that situation, all that would go out the window.
Yeah, if they're like, all right, you'll be in a coffin with spiders for
Yeah, I'd just be like-
3 minutes, like,
How do you do in heights?
I mean, I get the whole vertigo sensation where it's just like kind of like
So let's talk about vertigo.
yeah.
Because I'm not saying you have it. You
I get it
You
during-
get it when you're rolling. When you're rolling,
Well,
doing
in-
forward,
in the
forward,
inversions.
like in the warm ups.
Yeah.
forward rolls or doing.
I don't
half
get it from
rolls.
forward rolls or backward rolls because I've been doing them for so long. But I get them from
Half
inversions
rolls.
and side roll, like half rolls.
and then the full half.
Yeah,
roll.
because
Are you
not
guys
because
getting
I.
that hissing? Sorry.
What?
Oh, that's the pressure cooker.
Okay.
But yeah, not because
Somebody's making rice.
Gotcha.
not because I'm doing it just once, but because I'm doing it repetitively in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could do half rolls all day back and forth.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like unwinding myself as I go. But
Right.
then if I keep twisting basically my noggin over and over
So
again,
do you do the half roll or do you stop at you do? Because I can't remember if you do the half roll.
I don't do any of those. I don't do half rolls or full rolls.
Okay.
I just do forward and backwards. That's it.
I try to suffer through them, but then I get like super dizzy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing the next one.
Right. And to be but you, as long as you know how. One,
I know how.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to break my neck forward roll.
the backwards are good, right? You said
Backwards I'm fine.
Yeah. Backwards I'm fine with too. It's mostly the forward ones that I get like super dizzy.
And
But
like when I'm
half
rolling,
rolls
I'll
are-
invert. I'll invert when I'm rolling. Like I'll do inverted guard. I'll do the tornado guard. I'll do all that shit.
I don't get rolling. I don't get vertigo. Granted, I'm also not inverted that much.
I think me and Edgar have the same thing. Where if we're doing it constantly in one direction, it just kind of fucks us up.
Yeah.
Past.
I literally get super dizzy. Like I have to hold on to the wall.
Past guest of the podcast you had, Con gets vertigo. He gets dizzy too when he's rolling too.
When he's rolling?
When he does the warm up rolls.
Oh, warm up rolls.
He doesn't do them either.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get that.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
You don't get it?
I don't get him. No, I don't get him. I'll get it. I get like if. Here's if you're going to there with Travin does team training in Atlanta, and his mats are so long, so I'll get them if I do forward roll the entire length of the mat.
Forward rolls, really?
For the entire
that's
length
like
of the
4
mat.
times the length of
Dude, it takes you're rolling forward a lot, right?
Well, I mean,
backwards I don't get it at all.
Yeah, backwards and forwards I won't get that, even if it's like super long mats, just because again I've been doing it for like literally half my life, But I think the lateral thing, like the side rolls, half rolls, full rolls, it's because as human beings we're not used to going side to side. That's why a lot of people they'll get like a vertigo sensation from that.
Yeah,
Whereas
in rolling
going
you'll
forward
do it once, maybe twice back to back, but you won't do it 6 times.
Yeah, so I think that's the reason. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Was that part of jabroni like behavior?
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. I'm always curious as to what goes on with that stuff. Like so like I'm curious because I've been with people, friends and family who get fucking car sick.
I never understood that.
I get car sick.
You do?
I get car sick if I'm not driving.
Even no matter where you're sitting.
No, I could be sitting in the back, front, all the way in the back, in the middle.
Actually, I do get it if I'm having to read something.
Yeah, if I'm reading something for sure.
Negative.
But that's only because when you're trying to focus on what you're reading,
and it's moving. Yeah,
you're moving, so it's going like this, and so you have to focus on that. But I don't know why I get car sick, and it's kind of like hardwired into me. Whenever I'm not driving, I go to sleep. Like as soon as I get in the car, I'll go to sleep.
I can't go to sleep in the car. Sometimes I'll go to sleep in the plane. As long as I just am sitting down, and like I say, I'll sleep right maybe as soon as I sit down. But if we take off in the middle of I'm not going to be in the air, so I have to sleep as soon as before we take off.
I pass out of me. It doesn't matter.
So you get air sick.
I don't get air sick. I just can't sleep.
Huh. Oh, I get air sick. I get car sick.
Dude, I've flown
overseas
and I can't sleep.
Oh,
I get the fucking worst jet lag because I can't sleep.
That's terrible. 14 hours.
Sorry for you.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Unless I'm taking some heavy medication, dude, not just melatonin, just some whatever I can,
some of that Roseanne gear.
Some of that good. So I can't do that. But what was I gonna say? The other thing, talking about getting sick or how you feel. I'm also wondering about people because I don't get sick from just eating anything. Like I haven't gotten sick. Like I haven't been food poisoned, but food poison aside, right? Certain things don't make me feel like shit. Like I can eat. So people just complain like, oh, I can't eat
something.
Whatever,
yeah. You're not lactose intolerant?
Not at all.
Are you lactose intolerant?
I'm not allergic to anything. I'm not.
So you guys are both lactose tolerant.
Correct.
You can drink milk.
I can drink milk. I can drink milk, and
that's a mutation.
That I am
the ability to drink milk.
Yep, it's a mutation.
Explain.
Because we as mammals, we're supposed to drink milk, but we're supposed to drink milk from our own species.
Right. Your mama.
Your mama.
From your mama.
But basically, in the old world, when they started drinking like cow milk, goat milk, and all that shit, that was a mutation. Because the ones that could do it were the ones that survived. Because the ones that couldn't, they basically, they died off or they weren't chosen. And so that became a mutation. That was a selected mutation that moved forward. That's why a lot of I guess, third world countries, people, they can't, I can't drink milk. There's not a lot of Asians that can drink milk because Asians, they just didn't drink milk. And so,
but they can drink the heck out of some whiskey.
Yeah. So it was a mutation. And that's also another mutation. Drinking alcohol, that was a mutation. a lot of Asians, they can't process the alcohol because they don't have the correct enzyme to consume it. But going back to the milk thing.
What does that mean? So they don't get drunk as much, or what is that?
Well, they get red. That's the whole Asian glow thing.
Yeah.
Because that's why they get red. They get hot.
Right.
That's actually why I'm getting hot now. You can probably see it in my face. That's why I'm red.
Are you sweating under your armpits?
No.
Okay.
But the milk thing is a mutation because certain people decided to start drinking milk for some fucking reason.
Why you really have no idea why that happened?
Why they started drinking milk? No. Why it became a mutation is just because certain people, they evolved to start drinking it.
Okay.
And then, they procreated. That's why a lot of white people, they can drink milk because it was more of a European, like Russian kind of thing. But yeah, it is a mutation. I think like 70% of the world is lactose intolerant. It's the majority of people.
Yeah.
Mainly because majority of people are Asian. So, that's just.
Is the gluten effect real?
What?
Is gluten
like gluten allergy?
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
It's a real thing.
I don't think certain people.
Certain people, they can't digest gluten, which I think is stupid because you have a lot of people going on like gluten-free diets without needing to.
Yeah.
Which is dumb because you're just not getting the proper nutrition when you go gluten-free because a lot of gluten-heavy things like,
are nutrient
bread,
dense.
Yeah, they're nutrient dense.
Right.
They're things you need. If you don't have a gluten allergy, there's no reason to go gluten-free.
Right.
It's just it's not necessary. It's not going to change anything about your body structure. I mean, it might make you less bloated, but that's really it. And that you can correct that with other things. So it's, I don't know. The whole diet thing is just kind of stupid to me. I get why they have it.
Yeah.
There's certain people that need it. Like certain people, they might die if they eat too much gluten.
Yeah.
So, makes sense.
Right.
Do you guys have any actual like food allergies though?
I don't. Okay. You other than lactose intolerant?
I can't eat fruits.
Any fruit?
I can eat non-flowered fruits. So apples, I can't. Apples, pears, plums, peaches, anything that originates from a flower. Okay. Yeah, I can eat berries. I can eat melons.
Oranges?
Yeah, I can eat citrus.
Okay.
I can eat those. But anything other than that, I'd like start choking.
Sidebar, not an allergy, but Ahmed was there. We went to this Mexican restaurant after training at Rock Hill, and Jay ordered some dish with shrimp.
I was about to talk about spicy food.
Homeboy was sweating his life out.
I'm going to tell you right now.
He's sitting next to me, just full blown.
Well, it's required by law for him because he's Korean. He has to eat spicy.
Dude, it's almost like it was machismo thing for real.
Yeah.
It's required by law. Like David Lee. David Lee has to eat spicy.
I remember you and I and Jay went out to eat one time, and he got the spicy wings at some place, right?
Yeah, he was dying, dude.
And he was dying. He was trying to get us to. He was pawning it off, and you were
trying to pawn it off.
You were going after.
I ate
him?
it, yeah, because he asked me. He's like, "Hey, you want spicy?" I'm like, "Yeah."
He does eat spicy. But,
you can handle spicy.
Yeah, but not.
I would say I'm not that Hispanic.
I don't think you do. I don't think you're willing to put yourself through pain just to
finish.
Oh yeah, I like kick to my food. Yeah. Like I'll make anything spicy. Right. I'll make cereal spicy. But
what?
But no, at a certain point, it's just like if there's no flavor. Like you guys ever tried the B-Dubs Blazing Challenge?
No.
I did it. Okay. I don't like it.
Was it Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah, B-Dubs. Yeah. Come on, man.
I like it.
Keep up.
All right, man.
I can handle it, but I don't like the flavor of it because there's no flavor. All you taste is capsaicin. All you taste is spicy. I like the mango habanero that they used to have, which is like right underneath it.
Right.
Because there's flavor. There's mango.
The shit that he got.
Not me.
Did you taste it?
No, I didn't taste it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Geisky said he didn't like it just because it was smoky.
Or
was that you?
It was a really, really smoky, spicy.
But he was it was like he was in his own sauna.
Dude, he
had sweat the back of his neck. He had to get like 3 or 4 different napkins to wipe the sweat
sweating through his t-shirt.
It was just, and then he took off his vest. I was like, you should have done that before you get them.
Yeah, I don't even know why.
It's a weird thing with especially like Asian men.
I can't.
There's a certain like a machismo thing.
Yeah, there's a competition internally.
I had my carne asada tacos.
There's like
good.
God, what's it called? Like you have to show your stuff. You have to show your guts.
Yeah, the thing is like nobody else was eating spicy that much.
What I
don't
will
matter,
say,
man. Don't matter.
Dude, my stepfather, he used to get my mom would put out the plate of food, and then he'd have a little like cup or whatever with just jalapenos that had been sitting in some type of brine or vinegar or whatever. He'd grab a whole jalapeno, eat half of it, like chomp off half of it, grab his tortilla, fold it in half, eat half of that tortilla, start eating that, and then start eating his meal. And he'd finish his whole meal, like piece by piece, and he'd have a whole cup of soda, and he'd wait to drink the soda at the end. And I'm like, yo, you could see some like little sweat beads or whatever. I'm like,
well, soda makes it worse.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't see. To me, that's not enjoyable. When your mouth is already coated, it's already on fire, and then now you're starting to eat carne asada with pico de gallo and rice, and like those flavors on their own are fantastic. Why like start a fire in your mouth before you start eating it?
There is like reasons for like
digestive reasons.
No, like culturally why they were doing that. Right, so like you're eating spicy in those countries because it's hot as fuck, and you need to eat spicy.
You're balancing out the temperature, like your internal temperature.
No, so like Jay was perspiring, right?
Yeah,
that's the way your body cools. So like afterwards, he would sweat, and after he's done that, when he's done that, there's the coolness from the air, or what have you.
Yeah,
cools your body temperature down.
Well, I have a question though. Was he suffering or was he just sweating?
He was definitely suffering.
He was definitely
because
suffering.
he's like in the middle of the meal.
He was when he's suffering. He's pawning off. If he was pawning off his food.
Yeah, I know. I know.
He's like, no, you want some?
I know what you're talking about.
Two. Yeah, he did it to us at the Buffalo Wings place. As soon as he took two spoonfuls in.
Yeah, because he sweats a lot. He's like me. I sweat a lot too. But
I sweat a lot too. But I'm not going to sweat through.
So I asked him. I was like, "Do you get 5-star pad thai?" He's like, "It depends where." And he's
It
like,
really
if it's
does.
Americanized, I'll get the 5-star. If it's true pad thai, I'm like, no.
Yeah, like DJ Thai up in Noda.
Yeah,
Legit Thai place.
I've
Like,
been there.
you do not order 5 stars there.
Yeah.
No, yeah, my boy. Every time we go over there, he's like, I always ask him for spicy food. He's like, "You want it your spicy, or you want it like American spicy?" I'm like, let's do American today.
Yeah.
I don't want to die.
Yeah.
You're spicy.
Yeah, he's like, "You're spicy." Yeah. You like our spicy?
You kind of we went to that Viet Thai house.
Yeah.
You kind of got lit up there too.
Dude, that shit was spicy though.
We went to the one over here
It
in
was
Pineville.
crazy.
Yeah.
He got lit up.
So it's the first time I went there. It's like Viet Thai house, right?
Yeah.
And so I got like drunken noodles,
Mm-hmm.
and so like she asked me like, "How spicy you want it?" I'm like, "Let's do pretty spicy."
Yeah.
'Cause first time I've been there, it's probably my mistake. I should have been like,
You just dove headfirst into a 3-foot pool.
yeah. And so I tasted it, and I was like, "Oh, it's not that spicy." So I added more spice. But when I added more spice, it just made it worse. And so
You
I was
got the
like,
house spicy.
yeah, I got
sauce.
the house spicy.
The house spicy sauce. And that wasn't like sriracha on the side.
It was like the powder.
Yeah.
And so I was actually dying. I was like, "Oh shit, maybe I should have tasted it more first."
That's like when you go to a Mexican place, and like, no, I need the green sauce from the back.
Yeah.
No?
You know what's funny? The lady actually came up to us and she's like, "Next time, get it less spicy."
She was super sweet about it, by the way. Super
I'm like,
sweet.
"Damn."
Did she just see you dying in the
Because
corner?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Because
man.
he just forfeited his Asian man card.
Yeah,
Dude.
she's, she's like, "Oh man," she gooned me,
She
man.
literally was like, "You are not worthy."
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I mean, there is especially in Asian culture, there is a certain you gotta hold yourself up, especially with drinking.
What I'd want to do, have you
Yeah.
guys seen? You might have seen it, the Hot Ones show on YouTube.
Yeah,
You've seen it, yeah.
I
So
haven't seen it.
I'd love to do that. He literally has the wings of death. There's 10 wings, 10 different sauces, and then obviously they progressively get hotter, and he gives you like the Scoville level, and he's interviewing you and giving like he's done research on you, so he's asking you specific questions, and like you're having to answer the questions as like these wings are getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
I've seen that when
It's hilarious.
what's his name?
Action Bronson.
No, was it Jimmy Fallon? He does that same shit.
I don't know if Jimmy Fallon has done it.
nah, he does a mild version though.
The people are dying when they're doing it. I'm just telling you, like,
This
I
one was
watched, he
good.
had JJ Watt on it. JJ Watt was like literally about to die.
The mega death sauce. Oof.
My brother has that. You can buy it online. I don't know why my brother's been on a hot sauce kick, but he's been getting a
People
lot.
just get on that shit. You know, Eric at the gym's on that. He
Hot
likes.
sauce?
Oh man, he goes.
Perkins?
Yeah, he goes to those little hot sauce stores that you get to see at the malls and stuff.
Yeah.
He'll go in those places just to sample and just to feel like the burn.
So I know you know who he is, Action Bronson.
Yeah.
So he was on that show on Hot Ones, and he got to like wing 6 or 7, and he's like, "Bro, man, I'm so pissed at you." So I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You just blew my high." He's like, "I'm not even high anymore."
Yeah.
He's like, it's so high.
You ever seen God, what's his name? Eddie, the Asian guy, Eddie.
Eddie Huang.
Yeah, he won.
Yeah, he won.
He made a mistake of going all the way to the hot first.
Yeah, it's a very Asian-like mistake.
Well, they actually had to cancel it and postpone it because
he got fucked up.
Yeah, he got fucked up
because he also has IBS.
Yeah.
So that made it even worse.
See, I have a similar issue. I don't have IBS, but I have like an intestinal infection, which requires me to eat bread or like some sort of like starchy food
Bread's
every
awesome
day.
though.
Every day. Like I have to eat like pasta or rice or potatoes or something, which I love. But if I don't, I like literally have like water coming out of my asshole. Ooh. Sorry for the graphic picture, but
it's okay.
That's like legitimate concern. And so like I've had to eat less spicy stuff just to protect myself, just in case. So like whenever I have spicy, I like plan out the rest of my night to like eat bread. So like if you go to my place, pasta, rice, and bread are like everywhere.
Dude, nothing beats really good bread sometimes, man.
Dude, you ever had Nature's Own? Nature's Own whole wheat.
Yeah, it's I have some in the pantry.
That shit is delicious. I eat a slice every night before I go to bed.
But like going to a restaurant, like especially a nice Italian restaurant with some really nice baked bread, man.
Dude, where's Texas Day Brazil? Do you have a Texas Brazil here?
Not here, but I've been there before.
Or Chima or whatever?
Yeah, Chima uptown.
The Brazilian steakhouses.
Yeah.
They got the cheese bread.
Yeah, those little like,
cheese bread things.
Yeah, dude, those things are good.
You know what fucking franchise has some good ass bread?
Ooh.
There's two of them actually.
If you say Carrabba's,
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden's got some good garlic breadsticks, but the Cheddar Bay biscuits over at Red Lobster are fire as fuck. They're so good.
Dude,
you're on an island,
good.
bro.
They are pretty good, dude.
No, hell no, those are good, dude. I was to go there when I was in college and I was working so they're owned by the same company, Olive Garden.
Yeah,
and Red Lobster. They're owned by the Darden Restaurant Company, and so I was a cook at Olive Garden, and we'd go and hang out at the Red Lobster afterwards and like drink or whatever. And there's I'll go high and I would fucking chow down on some Cheddar Bay biscuits, man.
Dude, I'll tell you what, Trader Joe's like baguettes and ciabatta.
Oh yeah,
those things are fucking good.
Wait, does the Trader Joe's? We have a Trader Joe's uptown in Charlotte. Does the Trader Joe's uptown in Charlotte have a bakery right next to it too?
No.
The one in Ray Road has a bakery right next to it, and it's
like a Trader Joe's bakery.
I feel like it's owned by the
or
same
somebody else. Oh.
Nah,
I don't think so.
I don't know.
That'd be a unique franchise.
It's super, but it's always packed. It's always packed. People going in there buying bread.
I like when we go to the butcher's market and they have those cheddar biscuits there.
Oh yeah,
those are good.
I love Trader Joe's though.
I love Trader Joe's as well too.
Yeah, man. It's either Trader Joe's or Harris Teeter or Costco.
He got his Costco.
I'm trying to get him to get a Costco card.
Dude, get a Costco card, man.
It's hard to get a cut.
Like Costco. Sometimes you just need 35 eggs or 48 rolls of toilet paper.
Here's the thing.
Do you eat a lot of eggs?
Yeah,
I do eat a lot of eggs.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. You can get non-perishables like toilet paper, paper towels, lotion, body wash, all this shit you can get from Costco. Super cheap. All you got to do is pay $50
a year.
Yeah, and then you get gas at a discount.
Most people see.
What about electronics? Would you ever buy electronics from there, like a TV?
Yeah.
A good deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, their pizza's dank.
This is the hard part. Is most people are like, when will I ever need a liter of mayonnaise? It's like, okay, you don't need don't get a liter of mayonnaise.
I tell you what, I do have. If you look on my counter, I have
a Cholula sauce is like a liter.
I still have huge things of Cholula and a huge thing of A1 steak sauce, and then I also got like this biggest jar of pickles I could ever find.
I love pickles.
I do too.
Pickles are great. You ever drink pickle juice?
Yeah, I've taken pickle bag shots. Were good.
But man, yeah, Costco, dude, it's perfect, man. You can get a whole rotisserie chicken for
$5.
All right,
fuck it, I'll get a.
Listen, not
only
the rotisserie chicken
from there.
Yes,
you do.
So yeah,
Maybe
so not only that, they now shred it and not shrink wrap it, not freeze dry it. Somebody help me out here. They put it in a package. Anyways,
they pack it.
Yeah, you can get the shredded rotisserie chicken. That way, you don't have to take it off the bone. It's already off the bone, ready to go.
I'm about to get some brisket from there.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah! For
March 6th.
March 6th. Yeah.
March 6th.
Brisket time.
I thought we were doing burgers.
I think I'm gonna.
We can do burgers too.
We can do burgers too, but I think brisket.
Just don't get like a human-sized brisket again.
Dude, I feel like if we get enough. Yeah, maybe. I tell you what,
you need some confirmation.
I invited Edgar and like say I originally there's some more people coming, right?
Yeah.
Some different couples, non-jiu-jitsu related people.
Oh man, we can't have that.
Yeah, well, no, this is
Yeah.
definitely just really. So he came over and I got a brisket. Our
This right now, what you're gonna say next, you need to put him like on a pedestal because you know he's offended by what you said about somebody else's brisket tacos.
So this guy that we know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna name names. Anyway, Jorge, 100% Jorge, hip hip Jorge. He's the pit master and the manager over at Q Shack Barbecue.
Yeah.
So
So you don't question him on how to cook brisket.
so I bought the brisket.
He also
from a
questioned
Costco, and I dropped it off the night before at his house.
Yeah.
And he took it, smoked that shit at the Q Shack overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Came out just perfect. He
Had the
nailed
ring. Ooh.
it. Man, it was delicious, right? But I had too big of a brisket for the amount of people there, and we had some people drop off, like they couldn't make it.
Yeah. Some flakes.
Yeah,
He ate brisket
some
for
jabronis.
and I gave brisket away as people left.
Yeah, as people left.
People would take brisket home, dude. I ate brisket for a whole week. And let me tell you, if you think that's
He was
really
like, "Hey,
good,
you want to come over?" Have some
yeah,
No, that's a lot of meat, dude.
yeah, it's a lot.
It's a
It's a
lot.
lot.
Literally, it was the size of my torso.
Right.
Almost. I'm a pretty big guy. Too.
I felt no matter how much water I drink, I always feel like I went to sleep dehydrated as fuck. It was like no matter what. So yeah, but Jorge smokes a mean ass brisket.
There you go.
He does a good job. He does a
See,
really
Yeah.
having worked in the culinary industry, I don't judge anyone by what they do
Mm-hmm.
until I actually try it,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then afterwards I may say something on the side, but I won't say anything to their face. But like, man, if like someone like Jorge, just being who he is,
He's
and
100%.
yeah, 100%, I'd be like, oh man, this guy must make amazing food.
Dude, he's a cool motherfucker. Period. He's just a good dude. But
He
yeah.
did take offense though. That
He did. So I in my
Yeah,
another
explain that.
Yeah, man, he
another
never challenged him,
so
dude.
here's but this he didn't hear out why I said this, but a buddy of mine who was also there that night, he owns a butcher shop and a barbecue store, kind of barbecue place in Spring Lake, North Carolina, which is outside of Fayetteville. It's where like the
Fort Bragg is.
Fort Bragg is and
Yeah.
all that. He's a family-owned place. He's been doing it for a while. He smokes he makes brisket and he serves up these brisket tacos, and it's delicious brisket. I ain't gonna lie, it's fucking good brisket. Really, really good brisket. But what he does is he serves up these brisket tacos with these.
Are you giving away secrets right now?
No, but
Okay.
he does this. He does a vinegar.
I gotta keep him straight here.
He does a vinegar.
Spoiler
He does a
alert.
vinegar-based coleslaw.
Yeah,
That's all he serves with it. It's not no pico, no nothing. It's just a vinegar-based slaw that's on top of the brisket taco.
so
right?
Carolina slaw.
It's a Carolina slaw, but it's I think it's mostly just red cabbage or something like that.
Yeah, Carolina slaw.
Dude, it's to me, when I had it, I thought this is the most delicious thing I've ever eaten in my life. And so he posted something about get your brisket tacos, on Facebook or whatever. It's called Noble Meats.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I was like, hey, for anybody who wants to know, this is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. I didn't say it's the best brisket or it's the best thing I've ever eaten.
He said it's the best brisket
No,
tacos.
no. I said it's the best thing I've eaten.
All right, I'll pull up the screenshot.
I will tell you. So if anybody should be offended, it shouldn't be Jorge. It should be my mother because she cooks really good food, and I think that those brisket tacos are the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. And it's not just the brisket that makes it; it's the slaw. too.
Yeah, it's the whole meal.
It's the whole thing, man. And so Jorge saw this after he brought over,
And he felt challenged.
Yeah.
This is a
Well,
week,
not only
this is
that-
a week after he brought the brisket over. We had a delicious meal.
But that night, the night that he was taking the brisket with him, Ahmed had the audacity to ask the man, "Hey, what temperature are you going to smoke it at?" And he's like, "How
He
long are you
challenged
going to
his
smoke
methods.
it?" Yeah, he's like asking these pointed questions, and I'm like, "Ahmed, when's the last time you smoked a brisket?" Dude, I was not asking any questions. I was like, "When's the last time you smoked a brisket, Ahmed?" And he's like, "No, I just want to know." And I was like, "No. This guy smokes brisket for a living on a daily basis."
What a
Come
fuck-
on.
You don't challenge it, dude.
Yeah.
You don't
It
challenge
was
a man.
such a fucking
Come
thing to
on.
ask. And I feel like, I was like, so what is it? 250, 225? What are you doing? You know, like
I was just like, do not answer that question, Jorge. Let him like do whatever. I was like, that's what I can't take you to Guatemala if we're gonna be there and you're gonna ask somebody how to make tortillas. Oh, is that the right way to make them?
So he saw the post and he wasn't offended, but he was
we're in the changing room.
Troll me.
We're in the changing room at jiu-jitsu, and literally he's like, "Oh, so you had good brisket taco?" I was like, "Oh, I need to get out of here quick."
He definitely trolled hard. So anyway, I'm like, I'm asking him, maybe he'll make a brisket again, but he's like,
it's gonna take some.
It's gonna take more than that just to smoke a brisket for you. I'll do anything.
Oh shit! 100% Jorge, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna go 100% on that bitch.
Yeah.
Shit. Knocked over.
There you go. We're back in.
So we haven't talked about these fights coming up. You got some fights coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, dude. You know,
We're talking UFC or we're talking boxing?
UFC.
You know both.
Okay.
UFC and the boxing one's this weekend too, right?
Yeah.
Wilder Fury.
Wilder Fury too.
Dude, that's gonna be legit.
Can
Let's
we
talk
just
about
start
that
off
one first.
All right, let's start off on who you think is gonna win.
Wilder.
Wilder.
Yeah, I think Wilder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Wilder would eventually knock him out.
He's got more power for sure. He's
And-
gonna load up more.
And
I also think he's improved from the
he's-
previous fight.
He always beats guys the second
time.
I mean, he beats him worse.
They always
Because
show
I think
the
is he
fight.
undefeated?
No, because he tied with Fury the
Yeah,
first time.
aside from the
ties
he's
don't really count.
He's still undefeated.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I
he's
believe so.
undefeated.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the guy, I don't know what the guy's name is, but he's got a lot of dreads and he always like puts them together into one braid.
Shannon Briggs.
No, that's the old. Oh, champ. And that guy, he fought the guy once, knocked him out or knocked him down twice, and so they called it a TKO.
Yeah.
And then he talked trash to him. He's like, "You never do that again to me. You never do that." And then the second fight, like, clearly knocked him out. Like, homeboy went right through the ropes.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen."
See,
again.
that's the thing. Like Wilder has this sort of like innate athleticism to him that's different from other people.
Yeah.
Like you can be explosive and you can be like strong and fast or athletic or whatever, but then you have this sort of like fight IQ where it's just like in a rematch you're even more dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
Like John Jones. And every time John Jones rematches someone,
He
obliterates them in the
Yeah.
second time.
Yeah.
Like Gustafsson and Cormier, he just obliterates them.
So, question: this will be a little diverted, but would you say that's potentially why Mayweather doesn't rematch guys that he obliterated the first time?
No,
because, like, for example, he won't go a second time with Canelo. He won't go a second time
so
with
the
Maidana.
difference is, and this, I'm not
Is
dissing
this-
on Mayweather, but
Yeah.
Mayweather pads his record for sure. Because once he beats some guy the first time, he's not going to fight him again because he knows that they're going to learn from the last time.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
But
Yes.
not everyone does it in the way that Wilder, like John Jones, or even what's his name? Stipe.
Mm-hmm.
Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No one does it the way they do it, where they adapt in the fight, in the moment, and in the rematch. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
So like they adapt, but like Mayweather, he's just good. You know, that's the thing.
This is what I'll say is for Mayweather is he's catching these young guns and they get celebrity shock to a certain extent, right? I
Yeah.
mean, there's some dudes that like stare him dead in the face and they're super serious and they stick to their game plan, but there is a point of, celebrity shock in the ring and then
Yeah,
you're going
starstruck.
into So, and he's getting them young. So, yes, they might be undefeated for 15 fights, but he's undefeated for 30 some fights, right? And his Olympic and all the other
Well,
fights.
he got Manny Pacquiao when he was old.
Yeah. He got
Right.
rid of it.
So that's one of the biggest caveats. Like, hey, you got him. He
He pads his record. He's fighting legitimate guys, but he's just padding his record. That's the
And I
thing.
think that's why he won't, like, for example, he won't fight Canelo again. One, because Canelo's now
a
more
beast
crisp.
now.
Yeah.
He won't fight.
He's on that
I mean,
Mexican meat, dog.
Who? That ovary meat?
He's on.
Horse
He's
meat.
Jorge's sending him biscuit from here, bro.
they got the
That
hookup.
guy's just super strong.
But no, yeah, I think Wilder's going to win just based off of that unique kind of fight IQ.
Yeah.
And
Fury already has the IQ when it comes to, like, skill set.
yeah, he's got the technique down.
Yeah.
This is like purely the athlete versus the technician
Yeah.
kind of situation.
The ability to adapt real time.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got, I don't even know who else is on that card.
On the boxing card?
Yeah,
I
the
don't
boxing card.
Not the slightest
I don't
clue.
know.
That's
There's
the
just only
two.
that fight.
It's
So now-
always that.
So
then
my
you got the
question to you
Auckland card.
is he gonna knock him out or is he gonna go 12?
I think he's gonna knock him out. I think if he doesn't knock him out, he's gonna lose.
I think it'll go to distance.
You think so? I think if he doesn't,
I think it'll go to distance, or it'll go to a late knockout, like a 9 or a 10.
if it goes to distance, he's gonna lose, guys. There's no way.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, because he's not that type of. He's not a point boxer.
Mhm.
He's not a point boxer.
But it's not. I mean, I think he's just gonna do more damage, and over time, Fury's just gonna slow down.
Maybe.
This is what I'll say is
That's good.
the first knockdown was good. The second one, when Homeboy went to sleep like Undertaker, his brain rattled.
Oh, he knocked him down twice.
Yeah.
I thought he only knocked him down one time.
Nope. Knocked him out twice. But the 2 knockdown rule was not in effect.
Hmm.
But literally, he was eyes closed. I don't know if he was praying to whoever he prays to, but because he's a gypsy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fury. So he was out. And then as soon as he heard 5, eyes opened up, sat up, 6, got up, 7, checked the gloves, ran to the corner, 8, good to go. And I'm like, nah.
You got to have like
That
a
brain
zombie,
was rattled.
or like
Huh?
you got to have like a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think there's going to be some. Maybe there's not cobwebs. Maybe he's slept in a hyperbaric chamber to get everything back. But that definitely plays a role.
I think it's gonna be a late knockout.
I got a
It's
question.
gonna be damage over time.
I got a question about a fight that's coming up.
You're going to lose.
No. If it was me, I would lose. Dorino and Damian Maya.
Oh.
Dorino.
They're not same size, though. Isn't Damian Maya significantly bigger?
Yeah,
They're fighting welterweight because
Weight wise, they're welter. Oh, MMA. Oh, okay.
It's MMA. This is MMA fight because of UFC. It's in Brazil,
So MMA, I think Durinho has faster twitch muscle,
and he also has better stand up.
better stand up. Damian's jiu-jitsu is gonna. I mean, Durinho's top notch jiu-jitsu, but I feel like Damian has more experience there.
Yeah, he's got plenty of experience.
I feel like people sleep on Dorino's jiu-jitsu. Like they just forget how good of a jiu-jitsu.
Didn't he
player
just lose to somebody recently
in jiu-jitsu?
in Nogi? Yeah.
He fought
'Cause
he
MMA
lost-
is pretty
he
much
lost
Nogi.
he lost in gi to Tommy Lang.
Well,
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say it's nogi. It's a completely different grappling style.
Right, because you got the gloves and
Yeah.
yeah.
I
it's
think Damian
as
Maya
similar
is
as it
certainly
gets.
adapted.
I mean, if it goes to the ground, it's Damian Maya's game.
You think so?
I think so. Because
Have you not seen Arte Suave?
well,
I
just
just
Maya's.
have seen Dorino. Dorino's level of jiu-jitsu is
He's also biased though.
But here's the thing: Maya's jiu-jitsu is MMA. He's spent more time doing MMA grappling than he's spent anything else.
That I'll give you.
So he's more
No, it's
experienced in
earned.
that realm. He
It's
knows
for sure.
how to link the punches in. He knows how to
Yeah.
link the reactions in. So if he gets hit, he's not gonna have that kind of like, oh shit, I'm getting hit.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be like,
He's
I'm gonna
also
keep doing my
lankier
thing.
too, though. Doesn't he have a longer reach?
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
I mean, we say like Dorino's more explosive, and he's probably like he has more passes that he can do and things like that. Like Dorino's not going to be on the ground. He's not going to be.
Yeah.
He's not going to be on the bottom.
You just gonna be a stand and bang, you think?
If he does anything, he takes him down. I think he stands and bangs with him a little bit, and then he tries to take him down towards the latter rounds.
Damian's guard's not something to play with.
I'm not saying, but but Dorino's passing. If I were to tell you, pure jiu-jitsu, like say ADCC match,
Dorino's no-gi passing, you say?
Dorino's a no-gi world champion, two-time Norway world
yeah, I think
champion.
Dorino's gonna win in jiu-jitsu in like whatever realm it is, like no gi, maybe not gi, but yeah, if it's just jiu-jitsu, then yeah, he has a better chance.
He would beat him in gi.
But he has to do. I don't know. I feel like if he goes to the ground, he's got to do it more kind of pensively. You know what I mean? Kind of like a almost GSP style where it's just, I'm gonna take you down, slap you a couple times, maybe I'll let you up.
Yeah, it'll be. I think it's a more intriguing fight that I'm interested in. I haven't been interested in like UFC fight in a while, and that's one of them.
Dude, Khabib Ferguson, man.
That one for
Ooh.
sure. Fuck yeah, I'm definitely interested in that fight.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go Khabib till he loses.
Khabib?
I'm gonna go Khabib.
How do you think he's gonna win though?
I think that he is going to. I think he's going to win decision. I think he's just going to, and I think it's going to be close. I think the rounds are going to be close, but I think he's going to take him down.
You think so?
I think we'll take him down. And I think
he's of course going to take him down.
You think Khabib will take down Ferguson?
Yeah, but the thing about Ferguson, Ferguson's extremely comfortable on his back in MMA.
Yeah,
extremely comfortable.
He's comfortable in guard.
He's super comfortable.
But the thing is, we've never seen Khabib not pass guard or just end up in guard in the first place. Because his takedowns are designed to get him to either half, which he loves, or side.
Yeah.
And so I think Khabib is going to grind out a really easy decision.
I think that the problem is I don't think Ferguson has the power to knockout power. To Conor, no matter what you want to say, Conor can knock you out at any moment.
Yeah.
And there's a one time he clipped Khabib in that fight. And I'm saying so if Ferguson is awesome. Sorry. Ferguson is awesome at keeping the fight going. He's got great cardio, whatever, and he's gonna land punches. But dude, I don't know. If he gets taken down.
Is it a 5-round?
5-round.
Yeah, it's championship.
I've got
Khabib division.
Khabib, 4th round, ground and pound, TKO.
See, here's the thing. A lot of people are bringing in the variables because neither of them have fought anyone close to who they are.
Yeah.
Like Khabib has never fought anyone with the kind of crazy
B-boy stance.
Yeah, unpredictable style
Yeah.
or with the ground game that Tony has.
Right.
But Tony's never fought anyone with that kind of output, that kind of grappling game, and that kind of chin. Like, you got to respect Khabib's chin. He's been hit by like guys like Michael Johnson, Poirier, Conor.
That dude gets on top. He's like a lead blanket.
Yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of people say that like Tony's guard is going to do some things. I think it's going to get fucking slapped around like nothing.
Not only that, how much time have both of them had for a camp?
A long time.
6+ months, right?
Yeah.
No, they've been preparing each other for like 5 years.
Yeah.
He's in California now. When is the fight?
April something.
Shit, for real?
Yeah, it's about 2 months away.
That's so far away.
Yeah.
But no, dude, like, I think the only way Tony wins is he has to knock him out. That's the only way you're going to beat Khabib. Because Khabib's ground game, top, bottom, anywhere, is unparalleled in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think even Maya could tap him out. I don't think anyone could tap him out.
Like, you remember when Lesnar knocked out, what's this guy's name?
Frank Mir?
Yeah. And he was just on him and just feeding him hand sandwiches. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, Tony's ground game revolves around the guys having his head down.
Right.
Like, what's his name? Lee, Venata. They all had their head down. When is the last time you've seen Khabib have his head down and not use it as a weapon? Because when his head is down, it's a weapon.
Right.
You know, it's providing pressure. He's passing with it. He's taking the guy down with it. I just don't think there's any way to get him. You know, like, you have to like wear him down, which he just doesn't get worn down.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a thing.
What else is out there?
This weekend you got Paul Felder,
Hooker.
Dan Hooker. Yeah, that's gonna be a banger.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
get your popcorn ready.
Do you want to hear about some Charlotte gossip that I've heard?
Oh, you got receipts?
I don't got receipts. I got people.
So you got to say allegedly at first.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Chris Weidman is thinking about opening up MMA school in Charlotte.
Oh,
where?
Yeah, where?
Where? I mean, what do you mean where? First of all, there's like not like there's tons of different areas. Like Charlotte's a growing city. There you can.
It is. Yeah.
You can find any. I mean, he could do it in South End, still make money.
Yeah.
Dude, he could do it in the airport area and still make money.
Yeah,
he could do it in Wildwoods and still make money.
I think it'd be cool if he was able to do that. Because then you have a well-known jiu-jitsu school.
Yeah.
Great, all-time great. I'm not saying Weidman's an all-time great, but he's a household name in MMA.
Dude, he's legit. He's legit.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the only guys where he's winning every fight until he loses. Like, legitimately.
Yeah. He went back to 185, by the way.
Yeah, he's fighting freaking Jack Hermanson.
Who's that?
The guy that mauled Jacare.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a fun fight. I don't know when that is. But, middleweight fights, too. And Adesanya versus Romero.
Ooh.
Do you like
yeah.
Do you like Israel Adesanya?
I don't really know how I feel about him.
He's a little cocky, but
Yeah.
he's got a reason to be cocky.
He's grown on me.
Adesanya?
Do you think he's going to beat Romero?
No,
Really?
I don't know. Can he
Listen, if you want coffee on Saturday, you need to make the right choice here.
keep?
Because Cuban.
He's Cuban. I do like Romero a lot.
Romero, yeah. Romero's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
But he gets a lot of flack for the whole, like, hey, you sat an extra 5 seconds.
Did
you
you hear him
were supposed to
explain that?
whole... I did, but I don't recall everything.
Basically, he was saying that, like, because Kennedy stunned him by holding his glove and then punching him while he was trying to get away,
Yeah.
which is illegal. You can't hold the glove the way he did.
he should be allowed.
No, well, his corner felt like he should get more time, which in
So he should have got the, like, nut shot time.
yeah,
Okay.
he should have gotten the nut shot time. He should have gotten the time.
Or like the where you
Eye
get
poke.
eye poke.
Yeah,
or
the
like
eye poke thing.
The grounded knee or whatever.
Oh,
the blood
yeah.
time kind of thing.
Yeah.
He felt like he should have gotten that, which I mean, it's
Yeah,
still
but that's like the
controversial.
NBA. If they don't call the foul, they don't call the foul. You got to
Yeah.
keep playing.
Yeah, it's still controversial, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a fun fight.
Yeah. Oh,
It's gonna be a real fun
100%.
fight.
I think if Adesanya keeps the distance, he has a higher chance of knocking him out.
Dude,
If
I
he
mean,
can't keep the distance,
the thing is, man, third round Romero,
Ooh.
that's a
Oh.
that's a scary thing.
he does get gassed, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but the third round, he knocked
Oh,
out
yeah.
Rockhold, Weidman, knocked down Whitaker in both fights in the third round.
Did he lose both of those? Whitaker ones?
The second one should have been a draw.
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest, that should have been a draw. Because for some reason, they didn't count the third round as a 10-8. They counted it as a 10-9. But, I mean, Whitaker was on the back foot the
Yeah.
entire time. But, yeah, like, third round, every single time, Romero's come out and like he's fresh.
Yeah.
But then after that, he isn't fresh anymore.
Did you hear, again, during the Joe Rogan podcast, like how he explained, the wrestling in Cuba and like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
savages?
Mhm.
I talked about that.
There was the one that. Did you hear the one where Mike Brown went to Cuba?
Oh,
Wrestled?
yeah. And he's like,
that was cool too. Mike Brown's awesome. I like Mike Brown a lot.
He's a good coach.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
fighter's coming up.
No, not Mike Brown. Who's the guy?
Matt Brown.
Matt Brown.
Matt Brown. Okay.
Matt Brown. Matt
Close
The
enough.
immortal.
He's
The
savage.
immortal.
Immortal or whatever. Yeah.
He's the one with the tattoo? in his
Yeah.
chest? Okay.
He's a savage. He's
Yeah,
a savage.
for sure. He's one of those old school guys.
Where's he from?
The Just
Cincinnati.
Bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Oh,
like
well,
that.
I don't know about Cincinnati. The Just Bleed is
Yeah,
what
he's
it
just
is.
one of those Just Bleed guys. I don't know where he's from.
Mm.
He's like one of those
He's
Diego
he's
Sanchez
a
guys.
yeah. He's an Ace Franklin guy. Or
Oh, Rich Franklin.
yeah,
Oh,
Rich
yeah.
Ace.
You
Rich
wanna
the
go,
Ace.
Franklin,
turn
yeah.
that off. I don't know
Yeah.
what's beeping.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's a lot of fights coming up that I'm really excited for. You know what I'm really excited for?
Which
with Joanna.
Oh, Yang Jacek?
Yeah, fighting
Probably chop
Wei
that
Li.
name up.
Yeah, Joanna Champ. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a fun one. I think Joanna's done.
Really?
I don't think she's gonna come out of that because Wei Li's got some knockout power for her size. She's got some power.
Is Nunes coming up yet or no?
Nunes,
Yeah.
I don't know who she's gonna fight. That's the thing about women's MMA. It's besides strawweight, it's just kind of dead in the water right now. Because like you got girls like Chev. Who the fuck is Chev gonna fight?
Yeah.
She's scheduled to fight Calderwood, who's coming off of she's got like a 1-1 record right now. I mean, it's those are empty divisions.
Yeah.
Like women's MMA besides strawweight, it's just kind of dead. You know,
Where's
Who's
Cyborg
gonna
fighting
fight?
now? Bellator?
Yeah. You know, it's just, I don't know, man. I respect women. I respect them fighting.
Mhm.
They're all savages, but
Yeah.
they're fighting at like the regional level. You know, I'll be honest, it's not worth watching.
There's
Besides
not
strawweight.
many of them anyway at that. There's
Yeah,
not
strawweight-
many of them.
strawweight is
Fucked up,
where it's
but
at.
I don't like watching the WNBA. I just don't.
Yeah, see, it's the regional thing, man.
It's a re-
it's the WRBA, you know.
It's weird though, because
What?
I can watch women's jiu-jitsu.
Oh, 100%.
I can definitely watch women's jiu-jitsu.
For sure.
They're good. They're fucking super technical.
Yeah.
They do some cool.
But the thing about jiu-jitsu is the weight doesn't matter as much.
What do you mean? Well, I mean, I could watch it like the same weights, whatever. But I don't care.
Yeah, but the weight doesn't matter as much. Like you can have people go up and down in the weights; it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But then in something like as intricate as MMA,
Yeah.
weight plays a huge role.
Yeah.
Huge role.
Right.
That's why you have certain divisions be like barren wastelands. In other divisions, they're like the most exciting thing ever. But then in jiu-jitsu, I mean, you could have every weight be exciting.
Right.
You know, it just all it takes is like 2, 3, maybe 4 guys.
Yeah.
I feel like the submissions in women's jiu-jitsu are more savage because the women tend to be more flexible, and so I've watched IBJJF before. And
So they're definitely harder matches.
they're hard. They really have to crank the submissions to get the girl to tap
Yeah.
because they generally have more mobility in their joints. And so, like that, sometimes they'll crank to the point where, like, yo, that shit snap. Have you ever seen the one where Mikey Musumeci's sister's shoulder gets blown out?
Oh yeah, I did see that. That was.
This is horrible.
I told you about Megumi Fuji, right? You know Megumi Fuji?
Mm-mm.
She's like
No.
the original OG of women's MMA, but she's like an amazing jiu-jitsu player. Her whole thing, like her nickname is Megumi Toehold because she toeholds everyone. Man, you talk about women's flexibility.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like there's a highlight reel of just her breaking like her opponent's legs.
It takes a second.
There's one where she holds it for like 10, 20 seconds, and the only reason she lets go is because that thing is literally a limp noodle. Like the girl's coming out crawling, and the thing is just like literally her foot's like over here, and her knee's like over here, and she's just dragging her leg across the
Like
mat.
the Homolo Patrick.
Even worse, dude.
Even worse.
It's like
That one was
literally,
pretty bad.
that was pretty bad.
literally like this,
Oof.
just dragging across the mat, and the girl's not even screaming. She's just like, oh fuck. But
I'm
man,
wondering, is it the adrenaline? It's got to be the adrenaline, right? That you're not feeling the pain from.
probably
Probably that, and she's just a tough
Yeah.
tough
tough son of
woman.
a bitch. But yeah, that match in particular, it just started. It was like in the first like 20 seconds. She locked in. She got an Imanari roll, locked it in, and it was done.
And done. Oof.
But yeah, dude, yeah, you should watch her highlight reel. If you want to learn how to toe hold, just watch her shit.
That's
Megumi toe hold.
You know who's good at toe holds that's visiting us right now? Who's Anderson?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good at toe holds and knee bars.
I'm just very happy. he
That's like the
doesn't
new
do them on
thing
me.
now.
Huh?
That's like the new thing now.
It's
Like
serious.
rocks.
Yeah. They're going from different, they're getting into different guard entries. Like, well, they're doing it from 50-50 a lot. And then they'll get to like inverting from 50-50, and they'll get to a knee bar and then attack that far, the leg is trapped.
The one caveat though is, this is my own opinion. You don't really see a lot of top tier black belts in IBJJF tapping the toe holds.
Because they
Like
won't.
the last one I vividly remember was Cobrinha and I think it was Mario Hayes or somebody, and literally or Mendez brother. He literally
No,
was
he
like,
did to
Didn't that break
Bruno
though?
Frazado.
no, it didn't break.
They did Bruno Frazado.
Yeah, it didn't.
No,
break.
do you remember the one? I think I thought I watched it with you. When Joe Gabrielosha got subbed by Leandro Lowe in the Pan Am Finals, Absolutes. He took that ankle home.
It was the toe hold.
It was a toe hold. Took it home, bro.
But see, look, we just named two, and one of them happened like 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
it's just so memorable. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, aside from the
Well, I mean, the thing with toe holds is it's hard to catch.
well, there's not only that is like these dudes. Even when the purple belt Brazilians, remember when Jonas, Diego, Jonef, Jefferson,
we had these guys from
Italo,
Cicero Costa.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
those dudes came before every training. All they were doing was stretching their toes down, like legs straight, stretching their toes down towards the mat, pushing them down, having somebody come and push them down, so they'd get more flexibility. So the toe hold could, you'd need more angle, and you'd need to have it really tight in order to get it.
Dude, you know I catch in toe holds a lot, but I don't tap with them? Josh.
He ain't gonna tap unless you're going to break it.
Yes.
I've caught him.
I've heard his
Yeah.
brother literally say Jarrett had him in a toe hold. You got to break it
Yeah.
while he had him in the toe hold. He
Not
finally
even-
tapped when he was really put it on. Like you got to break it.
Dude, I took that motherfucker's toe and tried to put it in his asshole, and he still didn't tap. And I just let it go. I'm like, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I don't know why you're doing this when it's just training.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you grab mine, I'm tapping immediately.
yeah. Like the thing is, if you catch me, especially like higher belts, if you catch me in something, I'm gonna tap. I'm gonna tap like within a couple seconds. Like if I can't get out of it,
I'm not trying to feel the
I'm
pain.
done.
It's not worth it.
yeah. Like if I can't fight it off within the first 2-3 seconds, I'm just gonna tap.
Yeah.
But like, dude, I don't get it. Like, I get it in competition, sure, when you're trying to win.
Yeah.
But like, man, like I'm not even a competitor. Like, you don't need to be doing this with me.
Right.
I'm not trying to limp home.
Exactly. Like
BJJ Jabron like behavior.
exactly. Yeah. Not tapping.
Not tapping is
son of a
one.
bitch.
Number 2, grabbing fingers.
Oh.
That's BJJ Jabron behavior.
One finger.
You don't, man.
Because I do that. I'll grab the whole hand like this.
That ain't BJJ Jabron.
But like, hold on, wait. So
do you hold it
the whole time?
Do
the
you
whole
hold
roll?
it?
As long as you can?
No.
Okay. See?
No.
We're
Okay.
talking about holding it as long as you
For the
can.
whole time.
But I'm also talking about like people going for a choke. People going for a choke, and then
And they'll grab your fingers.
they'll grab 2 or 3.
Yeah.
3 is the minimum. Or was it 4?
4. It's
I
4.
thought 4
You have to grab the whole hand.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
4, 2 or 3. They'll grab 2 or 3 of them, and they'll just kind of rip away, right?
Mhm.
And they let go, but
Yeah.
it's just like, dude. I mean, 1, stop getting your back taken. 2, like pull the sleeve grip down. Just defend it in a certain
Defend
way.
it in a normal way.
Right. You can put your hand there.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. Put your hand there.
The finger thing always reminds me of Building a Champ or whatever that Lloyd Irving put on.
The Kumite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was Vitor, what's his last name?
Vitor Silvera. No, Vitor Silvera.
Silvero versus Sean Roberts?
John Combs. Or Sean Roberts. Sean Roberts. Yeah.
And Sean Roberts was in his guard. And every time Vitor was like, trying to get a grip or something like that, he would grab the hands and he would grab all 4 fingers.
Mhm.
And immediately, as soon as he grabbed, like, let's say the 4 fingers on his left hand, Vitor would just like
Slap the shit out of it.
Yeah, smack the shit out of him. And then Sean Roberts would grab the other hand and then he stopped and he's like, "You gonna keep doing that?" He's like, "Yes." They did it 2 or 3 more times and they looked up at the ref and then he's like, he just tapped on his thigh. He's like, "I tapped," and walked off. Vitor walked off.
So
So
Sean
Sean
talking shit.
Yeah. He's like, "You gonna grab hands? Huh? You wanna grab hands?"
I never in my life had a roll anybody does that.
I'm
Never.
like, listen, but don't let something like that frustrate you to the point that like
You give up on
have
the
to quit.
cash.
You quit.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, see, here's the thing though. I get that frustration sometimes when people hold on to things a little too longer than necessary. Like, I won't name names, but there's people that hold
Jay
positions.
Lasso.
They're sitting at the
Well,
table.
Lasso is actually trying to do something.
I know.
But there's certain people, no matter what belt they are, they will hold on for dear life, like it's actually going to help them.
Lockdown can sometimes
Yeah. But it frustrates me to no end when it's like I already passed your guard, or I'm already in a better position. There's nothing this grip or this position will do for you. Why are you holding on?
Right.
And so I will get frustrated. I'll get tilted. But, the better part of me will just be like, all right, I'm just going to get up and walk away.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually had to do that sometimes. I just get up, I get undressed, and I just go home. It's like
You left the gym? I don't
I've left
remember
the
seeing you left the gym.
it was on a Wednesday.
Oh.
It was on a Wednesday.
That's
Wednesdays.
usually like drilling day and stuff.
Were you there?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know if I was.
He
there.
wasn't there. Josh was leading class, and someone did something I really didn't like. I knew if I didn't have control, I would have just beat the shit out of him right then and there. So I was just like, "Josh, I'm done. I'm gonna head home." It was like 8:30. I'm like, I'm done. I'm just gonna go home. He's like, "All right, it's cool." He's like, "I saw what happened. It's cool."
Yeah.
And so, like, man, just some people, like,
The lockdown,
And they don't learn.
It does get annoying.
they don't learn. They don't understand. Like, I remember I literally tore my meniscus because someone wouldn't let go of the lockdown.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Really? That happened to you? That happened to you before?
yeah, at top. And I'm walking away limping, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Dude,
It's not doing anything for you.
So
That
like,
happened
I
over
understand
at,
if you use the lockdown to like bring the person closer, lift them up, just so you can get a pummel, and then work, and then let it go and work from there.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm just gonna hang on and hug you and
Yeah,
just keep
if
the
you're,
lockdown, like
if you're going to use your feet to hold onto my shin and then use your arms, hold onto my thigh and just start ripping it.
yeah, come on,
It's just,
that's not doing anything.
exactly. It's just so like,
And if if it's an actual match and you're down by points, you lost.
yeah.
I'm
just-
okay with
it. Doesn't make sense to
You're
me.
okay with what?
When people have been locking down on me, I start backing out and pushing down on their hip as hard as possible.
Oh yeah.
As hard as possible. And then they just usually let go. But then it also tells me like they're not willing to like you're saying, learn and play a different guard.
They're just kind of stubborn with it.
Yeah, they're not willing to put themselves outside their comfort zone.
Yeah, but even aside from lockdown, there's people that have they'll play like lasso and like lapel and shit because that's like our style.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And they'll hold on to lapel even though I'm already in like north, south, or mount.
Yeah,
like I've actually told people you're just stretching my gi.
Yeah,
you've already gotten the points.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, you're adding pressure to you, and I'm the one doing the pressure.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I was rolling with you were there, but I can't remember who I was rolling with. They were literally just stretching my gi out, and I just stopped, and I'm like, "Whoa, look, you're not doing anything. You're just stretching my gi, and you're making me mad." And they just let it go. Like, because
I dislike that, and I dislike when I get side control, and they're just like hugging me super tight.
Exactly, it's the same shit. You're not doing anything.
And or they pull my gi over.
Well, isn't that just like not trying to get submitted?
Yeah, that's the like panic.
That's it.
Like I don't want to get submitted.
That's the Gracie self-defense thing I'm talking about.
Yeah. But
sorry if I keep on bringing this up.
I've done this before where yes, you get side control. I feed your gi over, but then I feed my leg through your gi. So when you're trying to do a bread cutter, I'm then pushing with my leg to get you off of me. Now you can't put all your pressure down to finish a bread cutter. So if there's 30 seconds left, I'm gonna survive those 30 seconds. But I'm not gonna hug you for 30 seconds.
You know what's interesting is also that kind of shit where like you ever like when you're past somebody's guard and they're playing that kind of self-defense type mentality or whatever, but they glue their head.
Oh yeah, and
they
you
glue
can't
their
like
head to the back of
can't feed it.
Yeah, so like they're really, which is fine because you're giving me other things I can do like knee on belly or give me like to pass the mount or something like that. But to me, I'm like, wow, that's so weird. Why would you even you're not even attempting to recover your guard.
Yeah.
Recently, what I've been doing is something I saw Kyle Terra do, which is if they do glue their head to the mat, you put your hand as deep as you can into the collar, right? And you go almost north-south, put your knee to the side of the head and squeeze, and then that creates a blood choke and you get a tap.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you show me tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right. I think I know what you're talking about. You're reaching on the other side of the head with the lapel.
Yeah.
And then you step your leg over and it's just reinforcing.
So yeah, so you don't need to
reinforcing your hand as the blood is
correct.
Blood
Yeah.
choke. Okay.
Yeah, that's just the kind of shit I don't like, man. That's jabroni.
It's just
That's
jabroni
jabroni shit right there, man.
Yeah, because again, all you're doing is one, your neck is gonna tense up, and then tomorrow you're gonna be like, oh my neck.
It's BJJJ. And the extra J isn't a typo. It's just
jabroni.
Jabroni like Raver. What time is it?
Shit, I don't know. 9:30.
Oh.
We've been going for about 2.5 hours.
Just flew by.
Yeah. We can do it again sometime.
Yeah, we can for sure. Battle Buddies, episode 3.
Episode 3. This one was good. Had the Gomez on it for the. You didn't even say who Gomez was.
Oh yeah,
we didn't get the intro.
Yeah, we didn't even do intros
because I was interested in this.
Yeah, and then
I was distracted.
Yeah. By the way, this is Edgar.
Yeah,
Edgar
Gomez. You want to describe yourself a little bit? You don't have to say where you work or anything.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to.
Yeah.
Edgar Gomez, been training for 14 plus years now, black belt along with these two gentlemen. Started out actually training at the Yamasaki Academy in DC.
Really?
And then moved to Charlotte. And
dude, Yamasaki is loaded with beasts.
And started training at Alliance off of Montford Road. And then once
underneath the Jets Pizza.
Yeah, that thing was a dungeon. Then after that, my instructor passed away, and so I started training with Jay ever since then. But
I wanted to get you on to talk about your 7 Summits thing.
Oh yeah, so I mean, I'll briefly touch on that, which we'll save for another podcast. But my father-in-law has done the 7 Summits, so he's been to the tallest peak of every mountain on each continent. The tallest mountain on each continent. There you go. He's actually done the 8 summits. So there's 2 in Papua New Guinea that are really close. And so in the mountaineering community, they always say, "Which one did you do?" And he's like, "I did them both." It's a little.
How about both them bitches?
So the number of people that have done it gets
smaller.
But I've gotten a chance to do one of them. So I'll save the story for another podcast.
Yeah,
but
for sure. You all know Med. Med's been on here like 20 times.
I've never self-invited.
Yeah, but yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Fun. We should do it again. You guys want to go eat?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
I do want to eat.
Definitely.
Where do you want to eat though?
Nothing spicy.
Well, it's 9:30.
We already know.
so we
or
could
lactose
So
intolerant.
I don't know if Viet Thai House is open. We could either that or we could do McCoy's.
Ooh, I'm a fan of
McCoy's.
McCoy's.
Is that a
Barbecue spot.
So really, it's
how
the
late
best-
is it open?
It's open late.
It's for
the best
bikers,
barbecue.
so it's definitely.
I don't know if
open
he
late.
told you, but I don't like going to restaurants late
Oh, like right when they close, obviously.
Right when
yeah.
they
Yeah, no, they're open late.
because I've worked in restaurants where people do that. And
It
it's
is also
annoying.
Friday night though.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Before we, what do you feel? How do you feel about tipping?
Tipping?
Mhm.
I tip.
Like cows or
No.
oh.
I tip. In the U.S., I'll tip.
And have you been to other countries where you don't?
Yes.
When you don't do it?
No. So I don't. In Europe, I've never been to Europe, but in Europe,
It's customary not to tip. Or what?
yeah, you don't tip. And
I heard in certain countries it's starting to be kind of like okay, but it's just okay.
just because of Americans. Like I
tourists.
remember a buddy of mine telling me because he used to be a server in France,
Mm-hmm.
and he would say every time he's like because they can tell the difference between Americans and locals.
Mhm.
So every time an American come in, everyone's fighting over the Americans
Oh, 'cause
because the
they're
Americans will tip on top of the bill
Right.
Mm.
when they're already getting paid. So in Europe, that's kind of like a whatever. If
Yeah.
you want to tip, sure. But in Asia, if you tip, you're basically telling the server that they did a poor job and they need to get more money because they're probably doing poor in life or they're
Really?
doing poor in their job. Yeah.
My
So
jaw
never-
just dropped when he said. I was like,
Yeah.
Never tip in Japan. Never
Yeah.
tip in China. Never tip in like
Next time I
Vietnam.
have poor service, I'm gonna tip extra more and then extra, and then I'm gonna write on the receipt, be like, "Get your shit together, motherfucker."
Yeah, dude. Like seriously, there's a lot of like legit. Like I talked about unspoken rules. There's a lot of unspoken rules in Asian culture.
yeah.
Like there's a lot we can talk about in the next episode. But yeah, I tip here in the U.S. for sure.
Yeah.
I'll tip even if it's bad service. I'll tip because I know unless I know the restaurant,
And you also were in the service industry.
Yeah.
so-
Right.
I will tip.
Yeah. I ask because of the more of the when you're in different countries thing. I tip too. Like, and I know everybody here it's tips. I've been to restaurants with you guys, but yeah, it's more about like when is it? You know, is it? Do we think also like in our like our culture of not paying the servers really well and just putting the onus on the customer is the right thing to do, or is it because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's a way for restaurants to make money because they don't have to. They're relying on their customers to pay their staff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Do you think? Do you think that's wrong? So obviously they're.
That's definitely.
I think
I
it
feel like
depends.
that's
There's a lot of
that's
variables.
topic for
there's a lot of variables.
I
but,
know, it's just sorry, but
No, there's
we'll do that with the 7 Summits.
yeah, but no, there's certain restaurants like Thai restaurants. They pay their servers very well,
Mhm.
and so you know it's up to you whether you want to tip them or not. But you kind of have to ask them.
I mean, it'll be really obvious if you're paying with a card and there's no line.
Yeah,
Then you're like, all right, just paying what.
like
it
at
is.
Sure.
McDonald's. At McDonald's, they have a tip line.
Do
Shut
they
the
really?
fuck up.
Do you tip at McDonald's?
No.
Hell no, right? Because they get paid
Well,
minimum
hold on.
wage.
Caveat: I did tip at McDonald's in Guatemala, but they also brought the food to my table. They brought
Yeah, it's
sauces.
different.
They
You
brought
get service.
straws. Yeah,
you get service.
They were like, "Go sit down," and I was like, oh.
But there is a tip
Did they know
line.
you were American?
They did know.
No.
Yeah,
My
there's-
grandmother though was with us, and I felt bad. I was like, "Do I leave?" Like they're picking up my food as soon as I'm done eating, and I told my grandmother, I was like, "Oh, do I leave a tip?" She was like, "Just give me a 5 and walk out." I was like, "All right."
Yeah. See, again, going back to the Asian thing, in the Philippines, even if you're at like a mall cafeteria, you don't pick up after yourself. They'll pick up after you because like service is like paramount.
Yeah,
Like if you go on like Asian airlines, like Japan Air or like Jin Air, they take care of you.
yeah.
Like, and if you tip them,
I want to
You
do.
did a bad
I want to
job.
do Emirates one time before
I flew Emirates,
you flew Emirates.
but not like Emirates, not like first class Emirates.
Yeah, I
just
want
like
to.
you went to Everest.
Yeah,
I want to do like any
that
of
was
those.
fun. Yeah,
Or what's the one that sponsors? Etihad Airways. Etihad Airways. It's I think it's the Kuwaiti one. It looks but they're the ones who sponsor like a couple different.
the
stuff.
Qatar Airways is that?
And Qatar is really good
Oh.
too. Qatar. All of them. They're
Airbus,
just like
yeah.
they're just.
Well, when I was getting on the Arab Emirates, I was going on with my GoPro. She's like, no video. I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
For real?
Unless you're Casey Neistat.
Yeah, unless you're Casey Neistat.
Mm.
You're getting over 3 million views on your video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird shit. I don't know why. I mean, it's good marketing.
I mean,
for
I turned
them,
it
but-
on after I sat down.
All right. If you got nothing else, we can save it for the next time.
There
Got
you
any
go.
shout outs?
No, I'm not on social media. I'm on Twitter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tweet about this episode.
I will
Yeah.
tweet.
Post on your
That's our subject.
Instagram.
No, but where as much the only thing I want to say is be clear about is like as much as we kind of clown and joked about and talked about BJJ Jabron like behavior, we are absolutely more welcoming to people to come and visit and get a good training, push hard, and have fun, and joke around with anybody who wants to come visit.
Yep.
And that's it.
I wanted to say something about that. I joke around a lot.
I do. I know you do.
I'm like 100% by the bit. Like I live and die by the bit. But like if you want to be serious, I'll be serious.
Right.
So if you guys want to come train at Top.
Yeah.
It's legit. Or if you want to go somewhere else, I don't care.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
If you're a Jabron, go somewhere else.
If you're a bitch, you know.
Yeah.
If you don't want to train hard, it's whatever.
Bring a
But-
clinky.
Yeah, for sure. Please wash your shit. Take care of yourself. God damn. Cut your nails. Fuck. Bring some breath mints. Holy shit. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. That was Edgar and Ahmed, two jabronis.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Have an amazing day. Get out there, get hungry, and good luck.